won't tell you that.
My country, you destroy my missiles. You hit my own house, Donald.
Ali, I gave you a deadline. You gave me attitude. And now you're a ghost. Very sad. Probably should have taken the deal.
I haunt you forever. I put a curse on your whole country. Gas prices go up. Oil goes to $100.
That's not a curse, Ali. That's a Tuesday. Americans complain about gas prices when there isn't a war.
My Navy will block the Strait of Hormuz. No ship pass through ever.
What Navy? You had one frigate and we turned it into a submarine, an involuntary submarine. The fish send me thank you letters.
My successor will avenge me. My son will finish what I start.
Your son? Ali, I know your son very well. He saw what happened to you and changed his LinkedIn to freelance consultant. The whole thing's a disaster.
You bomb my country. You destroy my missiles. You hit my own house, Donald.
Donald, the Cybertruck drives itself. No wheel, no pedals. You sit there and trust the algorithm. I've driven it 100 times. It's flawless.
Elon, it looks like a refrigerator from the future. I don't trust people, and you want me to trust a metal triangle?
It has a 99.7% safety rating. That's better than every human driver alive, including yours. Your guy ran a red light last Tuesday.
That was strategic. He was making a power move. Very different from a robot guessing.
It doesn't guess. It processes 4 million data points per second. It sees things before they happen.
What the hell?
It's basically a prophet on wheels.
Fine. One block. Why is there no steering wheel? Where do I put my hands?
See? Smooth. It already mapped every pothole, pedestrian, and traffic light in a 2-mile radius. You're safer in here than the Oval Office.
It just turned left. I never go left. Everybody knows that.
It's taking the optimal route. Faster, safer, more efficient. This is the future, Donald. Accept it.
The future just ran a yellow light, Elon.
It calculated we had 1.3 seconds of clearance. That's Tesla engineering. That's precision.
That's a coup. A very large, bulletproof coup. Pull over! I'm calling Pete. I want the beast. The beast doesn't think. It doesn't calculate. It does what I say.
The beast? Sir, you lasted 14 seconds.
Those were 14 very informed seconds. Best test drive in history, probably.
Donald, the Cybertruck drives.
The top 1% owns more than the bottom 50%. This is an outrage.
Bernie, you've given this speech since before I had hair, and I've always had great hair. So that's a long time.
We need a revolution.
You honeymooned in the Soviet Union, and you're telling me about economics? The Soviet Union doesn't even exist anymore. Bernie, your vacation spot went bankrupt. Think about that.
The top 1% owns more.
One more.
Melania Biden just posted a selfie with Obama and it got 10 million likes. 10. I posted a photo signing the Iran deal, the most important document in 20 years, and got 2 million.
They were smiling, Donald. You never smile in photos.
Smiling is for people with nothing going on. I have a war face. It's presidential.
It's terrifying.
Good. How does Obama do that? Melania Biden just posted.
It's nice and compact. You can still fit up to 15 cars plus cash in here at the same time.
Welcome to News on the Flip Side. Welcome to News on the Flip Side, everybody. I was just choking me and trying to kill me there. That was crazy. Let's get this off the screen. The guy who does the baby, or I shouldn't say the guy, whoever does the Baby News Network, they're insane. I mean, somebody's just dropped it.
Nuts.
Yeah,
They're so good. Whoever's doing the voices, are they using an algorithm? Are they using an AI voice?
They got to be
creator?
using
What
something.
the hell?
They must take. It's got to be an AI sampling regular voice, all these other people's voices. Because remember the one. Well, we should play. We'll play that later on. The "We Are the World." When people have y'all seen that one? The one all the world leaders are singing "We Are the World."
Oh my God, is that funny?
It's funny and it's good. Hey, how you doing, sweetie? It's funny and it's good at the same time. No, we actually got quite a bit of stuff to get through tonight. And what? I have to think about it. I got the date in my head. It's just not there right now. Dragon Con, I'll probably be at Dragon Con this year. I may even go to Phoenix this year. You just don't really, I've been thinking about going to the one in town. I've been looking for something out on the East Coast. And there's just not much around anymore. It used to be like you could go to a lot of different things. There used to be a lot of paranormal, UFO, alternative conferences, but there's just not that many anymore. And a lot of them were just, I don't want to hate on anybody's conference, but some of them were just too goofy for me. They just don't take
Some of them are very goofy, yes.
They just don't take the subject matter serious, or they get squishy, wishy, washy.
Shortly is a pretty serious one. They have some UFO tracks on their lecture podiums. Dragon Con has a lot. I mean, we were talking about Dragon Con on the Church of Mavis just before this. They've got a Star Wars track, Star Trek track, Doctor Who track. They've got a UFO track. They've got an X-Files track. They've got, for any fan base like sci-fi TV show or anime, they have a programming track for it. It's enormous. The stuff that they do with Dragon Con is, I don't understand how they even schedule it.
It's definitely insane. It really is.
It's a lot of stuff.
Jack, well, you're not. I mean, you can try to see everything at Dragon. You're not going to be able to, but you can try. Well, you got 4 days. It's not like it's just one day, but you got 5 hotels. The thing of it is,
a 3-level dealer's room.
Yeah, well, you got the convention center, which is 3 floors full of that's product. When you go to convention center, that's all product. There's nothing else there but product. Oh, and there you can do interviews with like the cosplayers and stuff. And they'll have interviews, but they also have them in other places too.
Some of the lower end stars have tables there where you can interact with or have them sign things, and they usually charge you like a prop from their genre. They maybe charge you $10 to sign it, that kind of stuff.
No, Jack, Dragon Con's a lot of fun. Look,
yeah.
So just how I always do it when I go. About 2 months before I go, I start walking. I increase the amount I walk. And lately I've been being lazy, so I'm going to have to get up to about 3 miles a day. Because it's not just walking around at Dragon Con, it's up and down hills. Atlanta is not flat. Atlanta does this now.
You're in the mountains. You're in the mountain.
And everywhere you go.
It's the San Francisco of the East.
It basically is. He's right about that. It definitely kind of that way. It's a beautiful city, and it's got a lot of old world charms. It's got a lot of new world charms. It's a nice sized city. I usually stay in the upper right quadrant of it. So when you come in from Atlanta, you come through the airport, and you roll into Atlanta. Well, the interstate passes right through right down the middle of a good chunk of Atlanta. And I stay on the right side of it because that's where Dragon Con is. Now, when I'm going there for other things, it depends what I'm there for. Like if I'm going to see my sister, I'll either stay with her or she'll she's works at one of the hotel chains, so she'll hook us up with a hotel room or something. But actually, I've talked to her before about doing a conference in Atlanta. But it would take a lot of volunteers. I mean, it would take a lot of y'all that want to. I mean, there had to be some page outs here. There'd be a lot of volunteer work that would have to go on. Most people don't realize, but when you see Dragon Con, those are volunteers there.
A lot of them are.
No. All of them are.
Not all. Most of them. A good bit.
No, the only ones that get paid, I tell you just right now, the only ones that get paid is the family. Nobody else gets paid.
Yeah.
Everybody else is a volunteer. Well, they give them a lot of benefits for volunteering because you don't have to work every day. You'll get to come to it at least one day and attend it for free and do wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
You got access to everybody and everything while you're working.
They even have some behind the scenes access for to meet stars.
So it's a lot of fun. You get to be part of it. It's a big deal. It's a big monstrous 80,000 people show up and
it's like huge.
Yeah.
When I went, it was only the 2 hotels, the Marriott and one other, and then it was the convention center, which is again three. It's like a mall, 3 levels of dealers' rooms.
Well, the convention center is bigger than that, Jack. But no, they don't use a ground floor for some reason. They use the second, third, and fourth floor. They have a ground floor. They just don't. I don't know why they don't use it. I'm sure they got their reasons why. And maybe
they used it the one year I was there because they had. I guess they oversold the dealers' rooms. But there was like the bottom floor was where I talked to Richard Hatch, that played Apollo and Battlestar Galactica, and I met Don Schmidt, and I got his book and he signed it for me, but he was kind of a douche. He didn't really want to talk to me. So, you can do just about anything at this convention. They have so much content that it's like a small internet all by itself. My first year there, I reacted on Facebook that if you walk through the dealers' rooms, you can purchase anything from bongs to warp ships, because the first 3 tables I walked by, the first table was leather bondage and S&M gear. The next table was sex toys, and the next booth over was drug paraphernalia. And then I turned the left, and I saw all the Star Trek and Star Wars stuff. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in the right place. At first, I thought I was in the wrong place, but you could literally buy almost anything in that dealer's room.
Jay was at a bondage conference. Huh?
That's what I thought. I thought I was goddamn. I'm in the wrong convention, aren't I? But then when I turned the corner and I saw the geeks in the Star Wars uniforms, the Star Trek uniforms, and I think the first table I saw was a model maker's table with models on. I was like, oh, thank God, I've come to the right place.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you, people. I think it's like $149 or something to get the whole package for one person, but without them volunteers, it would be $400 or $500 to attend. It's not including the hotels and stuff, because you have to pay all them people. It's a lot.
Yeah, people. It's 4 days of events, and it's usually somewhere around like when I first went, it was like somewhere around $40 or $50 just for one day. I did the whole weekend, which I think if you do buy early, like 4, 5, 6 months, half a year out, it's much less expensive. And you get all 4 days for like $150. But then you have the hotel. They might get you, if you get in early again. Once again, you get your hotel reservation in early at one of those 5 hotels. You might get that room for $150 a night, and that's 4 nights. So 150 times 5.
I tell you the best way to do
you're already at $1,000 right there. So it's not going to be a cheap weekend.
If you want to have a nice room and not want to have to splurge a ton of money,
yeah, very nice.
So the Hilton. Two Hiltons, the 2 Hiltons and another one. They're up the street from Dragon Con. About I was gonna say about a half a mile. It's more like a block. It just feels like a half mile because you're walking uphill when you're going back. It's right there. So when I was there, the room was I had a suite actually. I had the full king size bedroom. So when you walked in my room, there's the stuff over here, a little breakfast area, a little place to cook and stuff, some other stuff over here. Like a little living room with a pull-out bed. And then you walk up to the bathroom, there's a tub, and then a garden tub, and then a shower, and then a monster shower, and then the bedroom. And then there was a living room. And the whole thing cost me $121 a night. And I talked them into throwing in their parking, because you got to watch Atlanta people. Parking can cost you up to $50 a day, especially during Dragon. So you got to be careful. I made it.
Yeah, I made sure to get that too, because once I drove up there, Atlanta, if you're not used to it, it's dangerous. So I just park my car and I don't go anywhere for the whole weekend.
And remember, people, they're really good with Uber on location there. So yeah, Uber pick you up from the curb. You don't have to be at a place. They use GPS, so it's a little bit different, and it makes things like if you're walking along, you just get tired. You can GPS while you're walking. They'll just pull up and pick you up. And I don't know if they have Waymo there or not. I didn't see any last time I was in Atlanta, but I wasn't really looking for them either. They are hard to miss, I agree, but I wasn't really looking for them. I can't honestly say I've seen it. I was in Phoenix last year, well, actually early this year, and they're all over Phoenix. Somebody told me last year that's where they started. Yeah, they're all over Phoenix. They're all over LA last time I was out there, too. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I was in Phoenix earlier this year too, and I didn't. Where was it last year? I remember when I drove my friend out there, but I don't remember seeing them. They're that invisible. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. So when they do this in all the cities, if I remember what the guy said correctly. So at first in Phoenix it was like 2, and then it was 5, then it was 10. I think there's 100 or more, and LA is the same way. So they're getting so proficient now that they're asking to put them in Canada, but they do still have glitches. Like if it's a person holding a stop sign, it don't always catch it. If it's not a stop sign, and you're out there holding your ass, might get run over. There's a couple of other weird glitches it had too.
It's kind of strange too, because I have like a smart cruise control. It's radar controlled, so the radar tells it how to follow the car in front of us, so I don't get too close. But it also will read the speed limit off the sign as you pass the sign, and the gauge in the front will say the speed limit. It has a little speed limit sign on your camera should have it too. There's a little speed limit number right in the front, and as you pass the speed limit sign, it changes 25, 35. It changes on the car. And I was going down a road today here in Pennsylvania. We have truck only speed limit signs, and it said truck speed 20. My radar didn't pick it up, didn't read it. So I mean, how does it distinguish between
Because
one sign versus the other?
a lot of
but
times,
it does, yeah.
But now, but wait, it's not always that it's
Yeah.
picking it up off the sign. So I found this out. This is a sneaky thing they do. So inside the GPS system, they can run. So GPS tracks your speed, but we just don't use it. But it's in there already. So what they've done is if they've opened it up for the app. So not only will it tell me what the speed limit is, a lot of times some bitch will flash red, say you've exceeded the speed limit. It will. It'll actually come up with my little thing on my board and go beep, beep, beep. And I'm looking at it going, what? First time I did it, I thought I did something to the car because it was a red light flashing. You know, I'm like, whoa, red light usually means bad, bad, bad. And I looked at it, it's a car. So now I had to get the book out and I looked at it. So, but it only did that, by the way, when it was connected to the GPS on my phone. It didn't do it when it wasn't connected to the GPS on the phone. So your car's newer than mine, so it might have something addition in it. But usually that's how they do your speed is by your GPS. And the GPS, because of different apps like Google and Wick and all the rest of them, all the highways are built into it now. So they know the speed limits of all the highways and all the areas, and the distances of speed limits. So all of that goes into B. So you get like a multiple way now for them to, I would imagine there's probably like 30 ways that it detects how you're, what speed that is right there for you.
Probably on the GPS screen, when I have my maps going from I have to have my phone connected to the data port. But it has the speed limit of the road we're on, and then next to that it has the speed limit sign is on the computer screen like it is on the road. It's a white background with a black border and black numbers. Then next to that it has a black background and white numbers, and it's your speed compared to the speed limit sign. So, but it's exactly reversed, and it's always like, you know, my speedometer says 56. The GPS says 52 or 53 or whatever it is. It's more accurate. Way more.
Look, it is. So, and this and thanks to this feature, by the way, this got me out of 2 big tickets. Because on my app, I always have this app I run when I'm driving. Hey Terry, you doing? I got this app when I'm driving. So GPS is accurate to 1 mile an hour. Radar is 5, minimum 5. It can actually be more than that. But it's usually around 5 miles an hour. Most cars are intentionally designed to be 3 miles slower than what the gauge, the speedometer says. It's some bullshit somebody came up way back 100 million years ago. But almost every car that you drive, when you see that radar sign on the interstate flashing, and it says 75, and you look down, it says 72. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And every car I've eever owned, by the way, was like that. It wasn't even an exception to any.
Yeah, same here. I use my cruise control all the time on street roads.
It's
everywhere.
So. I mean,
I can see it. I'm always 1 or 2 miles below whatever it says on the.
So I think they did that intentionally. Maybe that helps, you know, because I like to do 80. I'm not gonna lie.
People have wet feet. Yeah.
I just like to do 80. So that actually means I'm only doing 77 if I sit by a cop. But it's funny down here. 5 miles an hour is mostly a given. Not always, but mostly a given. 80 is a flip of a coin. So a Mississippi State Trooper, you might blow by Mississippi State Trooper at 85. You see his car go. Where's my camera on? What the hell? You see the car rock, if you're going by. So if he look at you like, hey brother, how you doing? And then next time you do another car, it's like 5 cops at your car. All of a sudden you're like, whoa! They pull you over, they harass you for a couple of hours. You must be on drugs, boy. You've been snorting that Coca-Cola cane stuff, huh? Yeah, that's what you've been doing. Yeah, we got you. What's that stuff? That DDLS stuff y'all take? Yeah, that's probably what you on. Or some cracky acids. But in all fairness, there's a lot of good cops in this city, but there are a lot of freaking assholes.
Yeah, there's some good. There are some not so good ones. Yeah, I got pulled over by the cops one time, and they did the same thing. They said, do you like snorting cocaine? I said, no, sir, I don't snort cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
Yes, it smells really good. Yeah. I remember my stepfather told me one time. My stepfather was captain of the state police for years. First, he was in the military. Then he was captain of the state police. He goes, retired out of both of them. 2 crazy bastards. He tells me, cops must fucking hate you. It's like, what? And he said, because you're such a smart ass, but you really kind of know your boundaries pretty well. And I'm like, well, because I don't want to go to jail, but I don't want to be talked down to either. Wait, I tell you, though, every now and then you get a crazy one. We were out at the lakefront. I think I was like 20 at the time. I was on home leave, actually. I was out with a friend of mine. And we were out at the lakefront, had the motorcycle parked at the bottom. Man, it was cold as shit outside. So we're standing on top of the levee, and the wind's just whooping. But these two fucking levee patrol cops come up. Get up, hands up. And we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then it was so cold. I kept wanting, both of them, Ricky and I both on it, kept slipping our hands back in our coats because it was cold. Man, the cops really pulled this guy. I'll fucking kill you. You do that again. You're trying to sneak. I said, man, nobody got no guns. And then I remembered the one cop walked up, kind of bowed up to him and said, stop. And Ricky looked at me and said, Ricky goes, Joe, I said, stop. He said, I'm going to tell you this one time. Special Forces training, special operations. You touch me again, and it's going to be the last time you fucking touch anybody. And I said, he'll never get to that gun fast enough to stop. I said, now you came up here and harassed us, not knowing who we were, just for simple fucking shit that you wanted to come up here and harass us. You want to take me to jail? Fine. I said, I guarantee you won't be employed tomorrow. And I said, everybody and their mama knows that we up here right now because we told them that's where we were going to go. I said, be truthful. We was going up to smoke a joint on the levee. I said, we just already smoked it. That's why we don't have to. Because they searched us like 9 fucking times. They were bored is what it was. It was nothing more than that. There was nothing going on. It was one of those dark, nasty nights where nobody should have been out in the first fucking place. We just wanted to go out because the lake looks wicked when it's like that. And but most time, and ladies and gentlemen, and anybody listening to this that's younger, most time when I meet a cop, I'm really polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. What was I doing, sir? Didn't mean to cause no shit, sir. And I try to, because usually, it's something you've done because they stop. And then it's not always. Sometimes cops can be, no good assholes. But for the most part, most of them are like that. I've had mostly good experiences with cops. I'm not going to lie. Most of my experiences with cops have been good. Not all of them, but most of them. One of them broke my nose. Yeah, slammed my face on the hood of the car. It was Jay's fault.
Yeah, I wasn't even around then. But
Didn't know the motherfucker was still his fault. No, actually, it's a long, long story. It was just say we were 3 young punks out messing around, and where we shouldn't have been. And the cops came and rattled and caged everybody. So we were all running around in circles like mad people. And a friend of mine just stopped, and he was about a foot shorter than me. So when he stopped, I just ran smack back in the back. My fucking nose went right back and smushed it in the back of his head. So when we finally came out, the cops were waiting down the street, right? So we go to your boy's house. They pull up like 5 cops. They screaming and hollering. I mean, literally, there's blood all over the place. They're like, who did y'all fucking kill? Y'all killed somebody. Y'all were back there buried him behind that ditch digging company, probably using their equipment to bury him. And at one point, it became kind of funny, and I started laughing. And then I recognized one of the cops when he grabbed me by my head, smashed my. I mean, my nose was already fucked up there. I was dating his daughter.
That's not cool.
That was just. I just looked at him like, oh, fuck. I don't even know how else to say it.
Yeah, no. What do you do? I mean, there's at that point there isn't anything you can do. You got caught with your britches down, regardless.
Yeah,
whether you're doing good or not doing good.
And he started to tell me, but you can't be fucking dating my daughter. But in the end, they brought me up to the hospital, made sure my nose was okay, brought me by the station because they wanted to document where we were, and because we was fucking around for the company we worked for, we were in there holding everything. And John, the foreman, said, did they steal anything? He said, well, no. He said, well, no, they're fine. We don't press on charges. He said they have keys to get in the gate, so they're not trespassing. Which we didn't have keys to get in the gate, by the way. He just lied. But we appreciate it. He liked us also. We weren't stealing anything. We was just in there being asses. Just looking for a place to sit down and get high.
It's the one thing I like about I took a couple years in high school and a couple years in college. I was going to try to become a detective. I wanted to be a cop. So I was the police explorer throughout high school for 2 years. I hung out with the Rockville City Police for 2 years through high school. I did it was kind of like Boy Scouts kind of thing. Same organization that does explorers does Boy Scouts. And then I took classes in college, in a capacity of becoming a beat cop and then a detective and then maybe eventually police chief, whatever. So I knew their procedures and all that kind of stuff. I knew how to talk to them. And my friend and I had this tradition where we would meet at this. It's actually a county park inside this neighborhood. The neighborhood's next to my neighborhood. My neighborhood is on the other side of the trees. There's a big swath of like forest that goes between this neighborhood and mine. You can walk from my neighborhood through the trees to this neighborhood and vice versa, but you can also drive within 5 minutes. Anyway, we would always hang out at this gazebo every year on Christmas and get drunk, get high, exchange gifts, and stay there for a couple hours. And this one time we were there just drinking a couple of beers. I had a cigarette, and this car just comes like, those old cars have that suck in air sound.
Careful.
Yeah, just a regular sedan. Just you can hear him gassing the engine down the. He's in the grass. He's driving on the park grass, and I'm like, oh God, what's this? Well, it was a cop. He was trying to scare us and make us run so he could arrest us. But me and my friend were too drunk and too high. We were just sitting down with like a cigarette. Like, yeah, what was this guy doing? I don't know. He comes up and he pulls up. He tells us we're not supposed to be in the park after dark. And we're like, sir, I live in the neighborhood that lives over here. He lives in the neighborhood that lives over there. So just a Christmas tradition. His father used to put, and the reason we used to hang out there is because we met there while we were waiting for his dad to get out of church. At the midnight mass, his dad played the church organ for the church we went to. So we were hanging out there as a tradition. We started when we were like in 11th grade. And he's like, well, that's a cool thing, but here's the ticket. Here's the ticket. Get out of here. And we're like, yes, sir. See you later. We packed up our beers and left.
Well, Jimmy, no, because because that's what cops do. I can put up with some of it because it is their job after all. And I don't hate on them because I know it's a shitty job. Well, because because most people don't give the cops the respect they deserve. It's just doing the job every day takes a special kind of asshole. Well, most cops that I've known over the years, it just kind of wears on. It's like lifer military people who spend a lot of time overseas. It just starts to wear on. Well, when we were doing like ops duties where you were in the field and out the field and 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 duty station, then back in the field, back in the duty station, back in with no real breaks in between. It didn't give you time to really clear whatever things you needed to get out of your head from whatever may or may not have happened on a particular mission. Actually, Jimmy, well, I'm still here, so let's just do that one. There you go. Yes, we used to talk about that. What's the most dangerous things you ever did? Stuff like that. I've been in some hairy, scary places, but I hate to tell you, when you're standing on the deck of that aircraft carrier, shooting them planes off of it, it's just so much shit that can go wrong. Yeah, somewhere we've got a video of one landing and a missile shooting off of it. Yeah, it's for the night show. It's just it's just crazy the stuff that can go wrong. Those planes, and it's not just the fact it can take a limb or a head or anything like that, or a missile can get you, a thrust can get you, damn plane can just blow up. Oh, we've seen an A6 intruder just blow up. Something happened with the main turbofan, some bitch to it. Well, the pilot must have known because he ejected. He ended up breaking a hip and a leg because, well, he wasn't high enough up to eject, and he didn't clear the ship when he came down. He came down hard and he hit right at the back of the ship. And it's a good thing he didn't go over because he'd have got chopped up. He wouldn't have been able to swim out of that.
Oh, he's at the back. He was at the back end of the boat.
Yeah. He was he was a little more past the middle, but he hit the ejection sheet and he came out. But
shot him backwards,
but the way the plane was, it just kind of tilted him back and then slammed him back right at the end. I mean, he was close. There would have been guys standing back there, he'd have been dead. I mean, there would have been a doubt about it. They saved his life, and it just no one ever. I talked to the mechanics, but I talked to two of the jet mechanics about it. They said they can't tell what it was. He said it was almost like there was a rock got in there or something. Well, people, when you any airport, it doesn't matter where you are, it can commercial, military, you walk the tarmacs because little pieces of rock, just little tiny pieces of rock, can really fuck a jet engine up. Yeah, if it gets in there and starts babbling around, it can start pinging holes or two shit. And a bigger piece can do actually shut an engine in. Well, think of it this way: if a jet engine catches like a pelican in the air, or not even a pelican, just a seagull, it's enough to take the engine out. It's enough
Usually
to take
does,
the engine
yeah.
out. Yeah,
a big airliner like a 747 probably take a couple of them, but a small fighter engine, one bird ought to be enough to really mess up a fighter plane.
well,
or a personal jet like a Learjet or a Gulfstream jet. If you have one of those, one bird will kill you.
it's interesting because when I was in the Navy, they were trying to develop this thing that would shoot out like bullets out of a machine gun, but a little bit bigger. And it was supposed to be an expanding, dense plastic polymer. So you would shoot it, and then wherever it would hit, it would like splat and cover. So they would just tell you just to aim anywhere around the intakes and shoot it, and let the intake suck it in, and it would expand inside and shut the engines down. It would give you real bullets. And because you didn't have to hit the plane, you just had to get the bullets in the line of it. It was much easier to get it.
You basically just turn a jet fighter into a glider.
Yeah, so
or a rock,
or a big. Yeah, we'll just say a bomber because it's going to have weapons when it hits the ground.
Well, yeah, no, I was saying because of the type of plane it is, something like a World War II, like P-51 or a Corsair, probably has enough lifting surfaces, control surfaces on its wings and fuselage that it could glide safely down. Now, F-117. You take those control systems away, it's a rock. It ain't gonna glide. It's just bam. Rock. It's gonna It's
just a big fucking brick, is what it is.
Right.
Well, no, Jesse. Pretty much everything from the 117 forward is fly by wire, not
mostly fly by wire.
A lot of the commercial
engines, and they are gonna drop like a rock.
So most commercials, Jesse, have both hydraulic and fly by wire. It's a redundant backup system. And some planes some commercial jets have three redundant systems. Because your 747 with all those souls on board, you want to be able to, you might have to switch over for some reason. Fighter jets, unfortunately, don't have that option because they need every ounce for something. Well, no, they don't usually have two different paths to the systems from it, but. Well, now there's something different with the F-22 because it's fly by wire, but it's not fly by joystick wire. It's fly by brain wire. So it's like your brain is hooked to the Bluetooth, basically.
It's Firefox. Anyone seen the movie Firefox?
And if you don't,
the plane with the thoughts through the helmet.
Yeah. Well, I know all y'all know what Bluetooth is. So just think of your brain being connected to the Bluetooth.
It's brain tooth.
Yeah,
brain tooth into the helmet.
So you're connected that way. Anything you tell that thing to do, and what makes it's so much different because one, response times are milliseconds versus seconds.
Way faster.
So by the time the Chinese pilot grabs his joystick, you've already launched a missile.
You're already going home.
Yeah, you're like, well, you know what, dude? I know you don't know it yet, but you're dead. Oh shit, you did. Oh well.
Bang.
It's a big advantage, and it's one of the reasons why the U.S. will not sell the F-22. They won't even give it to the Brits or the Canadians. They told them, "Fuck you."
They can't. The Brits can't even get a boat down to the Strait of Hormuz. They're locked by land, by the ocean. They have to have a navy. They can't get their actual military naval boats floating. What the hell's wrong with them?
No, what I mean, Jesse, is Britain is one of our closest, most protected allies. I mean, our militaries are pretty intertangled together. Why do you think that Britain really wasn't worried about anybody invading them? Do you think all of a sudden they could field an army and kick some ass? No, because ain't no big brothers there or little grandsons there, whatever you want to call us, and we're gonna fuck somebody up for fucking with you. But now, so we might as well go. This was going to be one of the subjects that we might as well jump into. So we have a lot of things going on. And we have the former colony or the old world colonies, the old world, whatever you want to call it. That's what we have. So I want y'all to think about something. There's been 6,000 years. We're not going to, because Jay and I would love to take y'all back 15 or 25,000 years, because that's probably where this all really starts. But
Yeah.
that's not what this is about. So we'll save that for y'all. But you never know. We might touch on it. You never can tell with us. But still. So 6,000 years ago, Sumerians had horses, they had chariots, they had bow and arrow, agriculture, math,
literature,
science. Okay.
Star Wars.
So we're going to fast forward now. 5,700 years. And so now we've got horses, and carriages. And still basically the same shit they had 5,700 years earlier. Okay, now all of a sudden, jump 50 years, America pops up on the scene. The 150 following next years, more shit happened on this planet than it did in its entire existence.
Yeah.
And America's responsible for these 75% of it.
Our technology increased exponentially. I would say more like in a.
It's not just that. It's also our moral values, the way we look at things, the way we feel the world is, the way we think people should be treated. All of that stuff is what's made this what we are today, and how we got to where we are today. So, and the reason I say this is, Jack, like you just said, okay, Middle East was ruling for 3,000 years before the fucking Europe was even a thought. Oh, they did a really good job. Let's take a look at Middle East today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're broadcasting from Iran. Oh, wait, there is no Iran. Fuck.
Well, if you ask anybody from the Middle East, or anybody from Europe, or anybody from China, or Southeast Asia, Australia, what is America best known for? And almost all of them will agree the only contribution America has given to the world culture is jazz, which is a bunch of horse shit, because we also, in that 150-year span, we brought to the world fixed wing aircraft, rotating wing aircraft.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad Jay said that.
Submarines, aircraft carrier. We brought,
we went to the fucking moon and back, people.
We went to the moon and back in 10 years. Actually,
it's worse than that, because that all happened in less than 100 years after this nation became the proud, powerful nation that it was after World War I, and us moving through World War II. We changed the world in ways. First off, you fuckers, we saved your asses, and we saved the fucking world. We let our people go over there and die to save your asses, because basically they weren't a threat to us.
No.
So
we'd be sitting pretty if we took over Japan,
and I have never,
and the Nazis took over Europe.
In all my 60 years on this planet, I've never heard a European one time say, thanks for saving our asses.
No.
Thanks for not making us pay back the $150 trillion you owe us. No. Oh no, Jack. You think about it. When you think about the wars, and you think about all the rebuilding and all the money come on, dude. France was gone. Italy was gone. Half of England was dust. Most of Europe was toast. Chunks of the Middle East were toast. And who fucking rebuilt them? We did. Now, Brand, I'm not saying America didn't get nothing out of it. We did, but still. We put our ass on the line. And the reason I'm bringing this all up is because I always hear the Europeans talking down about Americans or the Asians or the Russians or whoever the fuck. Okay, now we just talked about the Middle East and what they've done. So since then, since the Europeans went over there and butt fucked everybody in the Middle East with the Crusades, y'all been running things. Let's talk about that shit. How we been doing? Not so fucking well from what I can see. So, y'all didn't accomplish any fucking thing. Well, that's not true. Let me rephrase that. You did accomplish things like some of the greatest artists and some of the good inventors in history.
Yes, some of the most fantastic art, some of the most fantastic foods.
Well, not food.
Let's just say some of the most fantastic foods were started in the old world and were made better.
Improved on by others. That's right. Okay,
cheeseburger, hot dog, pizza, spaghetti, egg roll, Chinese food.
Yeah, that's funny you said that about that spaghetti. I was listening to these 4 Italian guys right there at some Italian restaurant in New York. The guys, he does the spaghetti, puts it Because he's kind of back and looks at his friends. And his friend goes in and he kind of looks back. And this other friend said, well, what the hell's the matter? He said, dude, we don't have spaghetti sauce like this. What the hell is this? They were just stunned because them bitches don't know what seasoning is over there. You know, people, I say this all the time. So coon asses like us, we start out with a lot more seasons, but most Americans are going to start out with at least 5 seasons before they start really cooking. So in the South, it's different because, you know, you get your salt and pepper, then you got your Trinity, and then you got your Pope. That's 6 right there before we do anything else. It's always those 6 that we use every day. The Pope is garlic, Jack. Trinity is onions, bell pepper, and celery usually. So all of that goes.
Actually, for your sakes, in food cooked in your area of the woods, it's not onion, it's onion.
Yeah, it is onion.
Unless
Unless it's just shallot, but you know, so what we call green onion shallots down
hey, Mish.
here. Hey, Mish, how you doing? It's no, we. No, really,
Well, no, I wonder. I mean, because my mom, I'm trying. I haven't.
Jack,
my health has been bad. Huh?
No, I just
Gosh,
Jack said something. I said no. Jack said something. I said chives are just little onions.
Yeah,
Little
little
green
onions. Yeah, green onions.
They mini
and
green
and
onions.
shallot is just a big green onion.
Yeah, that's true.
And they all taste yummy. But I wonder what because my mother would make a bolognese, and she would start it like we would get home from school at 2:30, and then she starts making dinner for like 5:30, 6 o'clock dinner at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, making spaghetti sauce. And the spaghetti sauce, she puts all kinds of spices in it and cooks browns meat, and then all that boils together for 4 or 5 hours until dinner time, and then she puts it on the spaghetti, and that's like I've always thought it was a waste, and I wonder how Italians would like how I've taken her recipe, because she used like tomato paste and canned tomatoes. She did it all from scratch, and it was like 4-hour long thing. I do it using bottled tomato sauce, and granted I'm part Italian, it's a bad thing, but I can make the sauce in 1 hour. That's browned meat and the sauce, and it's properly simmered while you're boiling the noodles. You don't have to spend 4 hours doing it. I wonder how Italians would like my version of spaghetti, what they would think of it. What is it? Is it different than what they have over there? I bet it is. I don't use as much.
Well, it's way different than it is, but that's because the way they do their tomatoes is different.
Yeah,
and
usually use
believe it or not, their tomatoes and their tomatoes taste different. So it's those things make it. No, they really actually do, Jack. They taste a little different. Well, most tomatoes. I mean, just in this country alone, there's quite a few varieties of tomatoes, not including heirloom tomatoes. And
there's at least 10 varieties of tomato in this country. Yeah.
So, no, tomatoes came from overseas. There are things in our country that people, they came from here. No, we didn't, unfortunately. What are you talking? No, chocolate. You mean cocoa? It came from South America.
South America, yes, and chocolate and caffeine.
Coffee,
and
though. Coffee. Where did coffee come from?
South America.
Yeah, but there was a weird place. I can't remember now. Yeah, there was some show we did on a while back. It was just something that was eyeball when I remember hearing about it.
Well, we know a couple of things. Cocaine, nicotine, and caffeine. Coffee, chocolate, cocaine, cigarettes. That kind of chemicals came from the New World, South Central and North America. They didn't really have that stuff in Europe, but there have been found traces in Egyptian tombs of nicotine and cocaine and cocoa and chocolate, which is really strange. But also oranges. They've also had oranges over there. So I mean, this is way before Marco Polo and not Marco Polo. What's his name? Columbus.
What was it, Jack? No, there was some bullshit about some bean was found that predated anything on the planet, and it was somewhere, some island chain that was nowhere around anywhere, not South America or Europe. It was weird. Yeah. Oh, girl, see it now. There's a couple of kinds of spaghetti sauces I can make you. I bet you that will change your mind. And they're not all red sauces. I
guarantee you. I make bolognese sauce with a rigatoni or a rotini, you'll change your mind about spaghetti.
I always put mushroom in spaghetti sauce. I just do. Well, usually so. Whether I make it from scratch or if I make it with a jar, because there's a couple of good jars. I can't remember the name right now. It's a really pretty little jar. It's a really good sauce. It doesn't matter. All I need is basics because I'm going to be chopping all kind of shit putting it in anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm still going to add probably another extra hour cooking time more, even though it says you can cook an X amount of time. I'll usually make some meatballs and fry them up. Sometimes I'll stuff some cheese and send a meatball. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll roll a little Parmesan in a meatball. But anyway, put them in there.
People don't realize meatballs are fried in the frying pan in oil first, and then you dump them.
Yeah, because the browning,
and they get the oil out of them, but then you put them in the spaghetti sauce.
But Jack, you don't have to let them cool. But you got to pat them down real quick. You don't want to let oil.
Yeah, you got to get the oil off of them.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to let them cool too much because then if there's any oil inside, it can gel. So maybe a happy temperature, because by the time you pat them down, they're going to be almost touchable. That's probably a good time to put them back in. Because when I put them back in, and you don't have to cook them even close to all of it.
If you take a pound of hamburger, you're probably gonna roll out 20, 30, 40, 50.
It just depends on the size.
By the time you've done the first batch from the oil and they're on the paper towel, the next batch comes off. Those are already dry. Those go in the sauce. The next batch is drying. You cook up the next batch. And by the time you do all that, it works out. But meatballs are an enormous pain in the ass. That's why I try not to do them, because it requires raw egg and breadcrumbs, and you put your hands in raw. It's just nasty. It just feels nasty.
You ain't got to do all that. See, Jay makes it hard himself. So
that's how my mom made it.
Listen, you do it. I know, and that's how my mom made it too. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but Kuna has to learn things much quicker. So you go in your refrigerator, wherever you got your chopped mixed vegetables at and your seasonings, and you take it out. Take a handful, throw it into the ground. You just make sure you put some garlic in there too. Put it in there. Add whatever your favorite seasoning, maybe even a little Italian seasoning, some salt and pepper. Squish it all together really good. But you got to make sure you do it right, because if it gets liquidy, then you're going to have to do what Jay just told you. You're going to have to put some breadcrumb in it, or it's going to fall apart. And you can't really use breadcrumb without using egg. So, no, I don't like putting
it's just a binder. That's all it is. Yeah. It just binds.
I don't
together.
Yeah, no, I never liked breadcrumb in hamburger or in meatball. So, that's why I don't do it that way. But no, the way I do it works great. So remember this. There's two things you got to remember here. Make sure everything's dry when you mix it together. And two, because you're going to take it out frozen. Oh, you can chop it fresh. It doesn't matter. Make sure when you get it all together, make sure that there's not too much vegetable per chunk of ground meat, because it won't hold together. So don't go overly crazy with your fresh seasoning in it. Stuff like chives. And, by the way, if y'all get your hand on garlic chives, which we grow down here, they are fucking fabulous. But stuff like that, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be fine. But when you chop your onions and whatever other vegetables you want to use in it, you want to make sure that they're small. And you don't want it to be like half vegetable, half ground meat. You want it maybe 15% vegetable. You can see it poking out the sides, but it's still good, a hunk of meat. Because all it's going to permeate in there when you fry it. And then after it's fried and all the juices in there, you're going to drop it in that pot. And you're going to let it marinate in that pot for a good hour and a half. When you eat your fucking meatballs, not just that, all that shit seeps out into your gravy. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I just don't know. If you do it right, everything tastes better. Everything. Yes, I like to cook. I'm good at it.
Yeah, I enjoy cooking too. I'd like to watch my mom cook. The first time I ever made meatballs, I'll tell you, I did not enjoy it because
it's a pain in the ass.
It is. It's a pain in the ass, and she does it from scratch. And so she gave me the recipe, and I did it at my home in Savannah. But it was breadcrumbs, and I think it's called pancetta. I don't know. It's like it looks like the crumble top on the top of breadcrumb kind of stuff. It's like sand. It was that parsley, chives, chopped onion, ground beef, 2 eggs, and then some Italian seasoning and oregano, and salt and pepper. And you mix it all in a bowl, and you just barehanded. This is before people used like latex gloves for cooking. It's just barehanded. You mash it together. It is so gross. It's a raw egg and It's nasty. But the egg and the pancetta or whatever the breadcrumb stuff is in the toasted bread bit, it becomes a glue and the balls hold together. So you can make real big
it's definitely
huge ones, or you can
binder.
make little tiny ones. Yeah.
Yeah, Kara, panko's great.
Panko,
if you
that's
like
it.
crunchy.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Kira. Panko.
Yeah,
That's
panko's
what it is.
crunchy.
Panko. Yes.
Yeah, panko's crunchy breadcrumb, people. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
panko.
little.
It's
It's
just-
almost it's little puff chips is what it basically is.
It's like the difference is like you got breadcrumbs are like coarse ground and fine ground. Panko's the fine ground. The breadcrumbs are the big square.
The panko's actually got air in them though. Inside the little
Yeah.
thing, it's actually got
Yeah,
air
they're
in
like
them.
little puff balls. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just weird. No, they're good. No, I mean, you're fine. They're good. Especially if you want something with a crunch to it, that's what you
Panko
use.
fried stuff is
Yeah.
good. Yes.
It's just. Oh, if I use like breadcrumb on like mushroom stuff, see, I use it as a topping sometimes. So when I do stuffed mushrooms, I'll dust the top of them and let the breadcrumb get really brown. I mean, just before it's going to burn, so it's got a good when you bite into it. Because
Crunchy.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret, okay, you fuckers. Hopefully, ain't a lot of people listening. So,
No,
there's a
cool.
secret to a good stuffed mushroom, not including making the crab mix, and I'll teach y'all about that. But so if you take real butter, use the unsalted because you know salt. Sometimes you can use salted because I don't put salt. By the way, when I make stuffed mushrooms, I don't put any salt in it. None. Whatever's in the foods that go into it is plenty enough salt. But you take a little
I
chunk
only
of
use
butter.
a little bit of salt on beef when I cook it. That's about it. I don't put any salt in any food after it's been cooked.
So after you blanch your mushrooms real good and get them to where they really feel nice, nice soft bite in your mouth, you take a little chunk of butter and you put it in each one of them. And you just let it melt and sit in there. So when you come by later on and you put your mushroom stuffing in there, sitting on top of that nice little wet real butter. Now, not fake butter. By the way, you can't make stuffed mushrooms with fake butter. They don't. Margarine just doesn't taste the same as real butter. So
No, it does not.
if you want to taste right, you got to use real butter. So anyway, because there's a little bit of stuffing, a little bit of breadcrumb in the crab meat stuffing. So you
Yeah,
put
and
that
I
on
think-
top.
Well, for the most part, margarine is a lot oilier than butter from milk. But milk isn't really as much of an oily
Yeah.
substance as.
And some of the
I mean,
margarines
what
today
margarine
might-
used to be called, they called it oleo, which is Italian for oil.
Yeah, well, today I think it's a little even different than that. No, Jack. So
Yeah, I
you
think so,
you
yeah.
put the mushroom, you put the crab meat stuffing in there, and then when you come back, you put a nice heavy coat of breadcrumb dust over the top of it. So when you put it in, and you got to put it in a broiler. So now all this stuff's already cooked, but you put it in the broiler and you set the broiler to high, and you put the
Yeah.
thing fairly close to the top of the broiler. Maybe
Cook it on
2
from on
rounds.
top, yeah.
Yeah, so now what happens is it starts to really get that crab meat and that juice and that crab meat going on that butter. And then the breadcrumb starts to brown and harden a little bit. And when it does, it acts like a sponge and sucks that butter out of that cap into the mushroom. So when you take a bite out of the mushroom, it's just like explodes inside of you. Oh, man. See, the guy who taught me how to make these was Chef Keller. He's a very famous chef, but I improved on him. And when I bought him, he was like, Jesus, you did. Because it's a simple recipe, and it takes, even with boil time, you can do the whole thing in under 30 minutes and impress people. Man, like I still get people asking about making parties and stuff. They're great. And you don't even, if you don't want to, you can go to the store, because if you don't want to go buy a real crab and pick them, we'll go buy real hand-picked crab meat because it's expensive all hell. Bumblebee sells a crab meat in a can. It's real crab meat. It's called Fancy White, and you can use that. Works great. It's got great flavor. It absorbs whatever you put into it, and it's not really a heavy fishy flavor afterwards either.
I am from the state of Maryland, and Maryland is for crabs. Maryland's state number one food or seafood creature is the crab, the blue crab. And I went to this area called Smith Island. It's in the Chesapeake, and they have a crab meat cannery that when I went there, this was the 80s, I think. It was operated mostly by grandmothers, ladies in their 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And these ladies, literally, it looked like, the Lucille Ball episode with the chocolate bonbons, and they're trying to keep up with it. It's like that. There's a conveyor belt in front of each of them, and, cooked crab come down the conveyor belt, and they grab, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of them. And they have, it looks like a plastic pick, or like they take a plastic knife, cutting knife, and just made it into like an all pike, and they grab a crab and go doosh, like that, and all the meat's out. It's that fast. It's like a split second. Boom. As soon as they touch the crab's body, it's destroyed, and all the meat's in the middle, and all the garbage is off to the left. And then they just keep doing until they fill a cup. They put the cup on the conveyor belt. They grab more crab, and they keep going. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, Randy and Les said. I mean, Randy and Lonnie said, "Shut up! You're making them hungry. Go back to talking about conquering the world."
Well, you started the food porn thing.
Hey,
so
look! Don't fuss at me. I'm not. I'm not. Look, that's Jay's fault. It's always Jay's fault. That's the rule. Unless Sean's here, then Sean's.
Yeah.
You know,
Sean's not here, so we can't actually throw him under the bus.
Yes, that's right. Miss Carol, actually, I was talking to Michelle about first off doing some panel shows and having her come on and hang out with us a couple times. We make her cranky when she hangs out with us. Oh God, yes. She's like, I'm just gonna kill you people. Thank God she lives in Canada. I don't know where she just lives in Canada. Anyway, getting back to the European thing. No, Jack. Who else wrote that? Oh, the chick they ain't the way I pronounce it. Nope, I ain't gonna try. Anyway, wherever the hell you are, you know I don't like answering questions when I don't know what people are. But anyway, it's not that I dislike Europeans. I have a lot of friends. They're good friends. The problem here is the lack of disrespect, and I knew it was bad. But I didn't know to what proportion it was until the World Cup. I mean, when you've got 1 million people come over here and act like, what the fuck? What the hell y'all been saying about us over there? I mean, basically, we saved your ass and keep saving your ass. Without fucking NATO, you'd be Russian or Chinese.
And they keep making us bad guy.
And that's it. We're always bad guy. We're the thing. Iran told us in 8 weeks they were going to have nukes, and one of the targets was Europe. And you get pissed because we go take them away from them?
Yeah.
And then you don't want to help out because what? It's not cool. You don't like Trump. You got TDS. So you're going to put the fucking world at stake because you don't like somebody? What kind of fucking shit is that? It doesn't matter. What I said stands. You fucking ruled the world for 3,000 years and fucked it up. The Middle East had it for 3,000 years. Bottom line, there was 6,500 something years before us, and it ain't good history. And let me be plain. Wait, let's be plain about this. Since America took over and we ended fucking World War II, this has been the most peaceful this motherfucking planet have ever been in its existence.
I would agree, except for the Middle East, which I don't think if now we might need a historical mathlete to come on and do this part, but I'll bet if we go back in history, even as far back to the prehistory where we lose the written history, I'll bet you we will find that the Middle East hasn't seen a single decade without war.
No, it hasn't. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not since biblical. It's been that way.
Not since written history has there that place seen a
Okay,
decade
Jack.
without one.
Let's start
conflict.
with this. Let's talk with the Sumerians. Sumerians got in fucking wars all the time. Let's talk about the Egyptians. Egyptians were always fighting with somebody until the Romans came and fucked them up.
Yeah.
Mesopotamians, they were pretty much fucking up people too. There has been nobody on the world that wasn't getting in. And let's look at Europe. Europe's were killing each other. Same blood, same kin, just killing each other because, I don't know, because I'm French and I'm going to kick you in the ass. Oh, I'm British, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. I mean, come on, people. You can't fault us when you look at your fucking history. And we're your fucking children. We're just trying to get out of the loop. And when it comes right down to it, we are y'all. We've just improved on you. Our society is much more stable, much more loving, much more comfortable. You motherfuckers don't even have air conditioners.
Yeah.
Or drive-throughs. I'm like, that's like living in a stone age, man. They barely got
plumbing in Europe until we came along.
And they still don't have really
indoor plumbing. Think about it.
Think about this. They don't actually really still have indoor. It's all outside, and then it punches through the wall somewhere. No, it's not like it is here. It's just because we're hating on the Europeans because their cities are built on top. You just said 3,000 years, so there's 3,000 years of growth there, and everything's right up against each other. and it's crammed.
I'm
That's why
gonna go find something that might help on this. Let me go look at this.
That's
real
why there's
quick.
no drive-throughs and things like that. They got narrow, skinny streets and shit. Because they are the former continent. They are the old world. It's just let us have a chance. We can't fuck up any more than y'all did. Really, we can't. And frankly, the world's a pretty cool place right now. I mean, Elon Musk is taking us to Mars and to the moon. China's trying to at least sort of half-ass humanize. Well, Russia's a fucking idiot. And the Ukraine needs to get their shit together. And the Ayatollah, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, there was a report came out of 2 different countries today that they're pretty sure the leader, the son, or whoever he is dead. They think he died from his injuries. Well, he's never been seen on camera, and all the pictures of him turned out to be AI. Yeah, they were talking about it today. They analyzed every photo taken, and get this, not just any AI, it's Google AI. So they're using their own shit. I mean, come on, man, give them some free. Give you some cool technology, you try to turn it into the Ayatollah. I mean, God. I don't know, but that's what they're saying, that most Middle East people think he's dead. Or
Okay,
that he's in some kind of coma or something and he can't talk. What you got there?
So this is a segment from a movie called History of the World Part 1 called Everything Starts Somewhere. This segment we're going to watch here.
Mel Brooks?
Let me get this. It's Mel Brooks,
Okay.
History of the World Part 1. And the segment is called Everything Starts Somewhere. So let's see if this works.
Bitches, everything starts somewhere.
Plumbing. Yes, citizens, plumbing. It's the latest invention to hit Rome. It moves water from one place to another. It's astounding. It's amazing. Get on the bandwagon. Pipe the shit right out of your house. Plumbing. Plumbing.
Everything starts somewhere.
Well, we know. I mean, the Greeks really and kind of. I don't want to say the Greeks are probably Sumerians, but somebody invented it. Well, no, they had open. Okay, John.
No,
I
I mean
pipe
the
plumbing.
problem
They had
is
open plumbing, so they would
they have
make
the
trenches.
aqueducts. I mean,
Yeah.
they still work. 90%.
Well, no, I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about like for where they had the heated pools and the jacuzzis.
Oh yeah.
And the bathrooms and stuff.
Jacuzzi.
No, they had bathrooms where you could do your business and the water would take it away. But they were open channels, so they weren't like pipes. So you'd have 3 sides like rock cut through rock, and the top would be open. And sometimes there'd be planks or something on top of it. But well, because they didn't really know what a pipe was yet. Nobody had invented it yet. No. And that's what the aqueducts are. That basically just becomes a rock with grooves cut in. Well,
The
actually, the
aqueduct
aqueducts
is
are
actually
poured
the
concrete. Yeah, they're
precursor
poured.
to the conduit. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Well, okay, James, not all the aqueducts, but most of them are poured concrete. Not concrete made with volcanic ash instead of open mix.
Yeah.
This shit would harden in the water in
concrete
minutes.
that to today, so almost 2,000 years old, is stronger than the concrete that we can pour.
It's well, they think they found the formula just recently. They think they broke it down and found it. So we'll see. They're going to test it. But it takes a while to test all that stuff. You got to give it time to age and stuff. And you got to do what they call fast weathering. Expose it to a lot of wind and water. Well, aqueducts are still there 2,000 years later, so we know they work. And some of them actually still work.
Most, like 70% of it, still functions and provides water to parts of Rome.
Well, opening an aqueduct is cool because one, it helps get the garbage out of the water. A lot of the stuff floats out of it. They do that even in today's water system. You'll see like a sand bed, a pebble bed usually, then a sand bed. So they filter the water through it, and then they expose it to the air so things come out and go into the air.
It's what they call a diatomaceous earth filter. Yes,
it's tried and true method. You want to be a billionaire, Jimmy? I'll tell you how you can be a billionaire. Move to Louisiana or Texas to where there's a lot of fresh water. And then start buying you up little chunks of land from where you live all the way to Mexico and Arizona. And then lay your ass on, you don't have to put that on pipe. You can actually do this differently, but you kind of want it to be a halfway open air system so the water, you're gonna convert this water unfiltered right into these things, and you're gonna let them run through tiers all the way to wherever they're going. And when you get there, you're going to have this really very fresh, very nice water, and it'll run you about the same as it does for gasoline. But people, they will buy it, especially farmers. They'll buy it big time. They've been wanting to do it for a while. The reason they have it is a big argument with Louisiana and Mississippi got into it with somebody about they wanted to put an aquifer all the way to California. And there was a big fight of it. No, getting back to the old world, though. Look, people, we got better food, better cars, better everything. Give us a chance to run the world for a while. Again, we can't fuck it up anymore than y'all did.
Yeah, I mean, it's already heading towards, all kinds of chaos. I mean, look at what we have going on, in our own backyard. I mean, this extreme left push to the DSA, the Democratic Socialist Society or whatever that's coming up in the Democratic Party. These guys are, nuts. They're claiming, socialism works. It's worked in other countries. Yeah, name one. Yeah,
and for some reason, I will never understand. Everybody always tells me, "Oh, Scandinavian countries are socialist." No, they're not.
No,
so
they're
let me
not.
explain, people. If you have an open market, free market, you're not a socialist country. You can't be socialist and have a free market. That does not how that fucking shit don't work that way. So if you got a free market,
not socialist, yeah. I mean, and the few that are socialist, you have Venezuela was a socialist society.
They're pretty fucked up.
They're now fixing. They're fixing to change their government this year. Is it this year or next?
I think it's sometime next year, but
I think it's sometime next year. They're fixing to revote a new government in Cuba. They're collapsing under our very eyes. And
they may become a territory. Yeah,
they're going to become a territory. They're fastly becoming no longer socialist. Our neighbor to the north, Canada, they're not necessarily a socialist government, but they have socialist health care. And not all, but half of the hosts on this network are from Canada, and they all agree that the socialist healthcare there sucks.
It's always what first thing that Europeans and Canadians always throw up to healthcare. And I'm like, those healthcare is nowhere near as good as ours. I said, first
half of them are trying to come here to get their healthcare.
Well, because they have a lot of weird rules on their healthcare. And they can determine, like, if you're over 75, they don't have to give you certain types of treatments.
You don't need this medicine. Yeah, you're too old.
Yeah, we don't do that shit in this country. And if you walk into an emergency room here, they have to see you. They don't have to do that. And what makes it even worse is,
when
you get sick. So let's say your doctor said, "Hey, look, you might have brain cancer. You need an MRI." You motherfucker, within a day or two, you're
dead.
No, I mean, in the United States, you will have that MRI that within 2 or 3 days.
Good. Canada, you're dead.
You're dead. I know. I
2-year wait. Was it a 2-year wait for MRIs and that kind of shit?
The woman that was on TV just recently, she's at 11 months right now. And they told her it's still be another 3 or 4 months. And her doctor said her cancer went from stage 1 to stage 2.
Year and a half. That's round up 2 years.
And so she said she saved up enough money to come to the United States to get it. And so she can give it to her doctor so they can do something. No, I've had a couple of friends die up there, Jack. So a good friend of mine, he was waiting to get a stent. So here, a stent's a fucking outpatient thing. Unless there's a problem, it's an outpatient thing.
Right, yeah.
When I got mine, I'd been in the hospital 3 days, but when they gave it to me, they let me out the next morning. I said, "Get the fuck out of here, go home. You can go to work."
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. So he said, "You can go to work." And I was like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah." So, but in Canada, he waited, and they went in and they did some stuff, and they gave him his plaque stuff and all. And they had to do some other stuff. And about a year, about 2 months before he was going to get it, he died. His wife sued him, but Canada's got laws where you can't really sue. U.S. only place the U.S. has a law like that is when it comes to vaccines. Yeah, once a vaccine goes through the FDA, you can sue, but they're limited to what you get. I think it's $50,000 or something. It's one of them things. Because no pharmaceutical would want to develop vaccines if they were going to be held liable if something went wrong with one of them, killed everybody.
And the other thing is, if you're a drug company, and you produce the cure for a drug, you just lost your client base. It's kind of a conundrum there, you know.
Well, I notice a lot more of these companies now are looking directly for cures because people are starting to push back against them, and the companies aren't really coming. Because there's been several. I think there's like 18 or 20 cures for cancer out there. And,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. government has patented cures for all types of cancer, and they're just sort of holding back on it, population control, whatever. But it's shocking that we have all this near perfect. I'd say medically we're pretty close to Star Trek era. We're not quite there, but we're very, very advanced. We're more advanced medically, I think, than we are emotionally as a species. But we shouldn't be suffering from some of these things that we have, the cancers and Parkinson's disease and things like that.
They're working on nanotechnology, and they have been for quite some time now, actually. So
we're going to be immortal soon.
Well, the nanotechnology, at least like with stuff like with clogs, problems with arteries, they can go in there and fix this stuff without any relatively anything at all. Oh no, Jack, they already got those. The pills with the cameras and all. No, they got those. You pop the damn thing and know if the cameras out. Yep. Yeah, they got those. They got a couple other things besides that. They've got specific gene type drugs now that only affect certain genes, or they help to activate other genes that help take care of problems. They're designing. So right now they're designing the cures and the treatments for each person. So they come up with a base, and then
tailor made.
Take the person. Then they take the person's DNA and tailor make it. So it's not just a general; it's designed for you, so they work much more effectively.
I don't think it's quite as simple as you just put.
No, I'm sure it's not.
No. From what I've heard of it, I think what they do is you get a spinal tap. In other words, they take a needle about this long and jam it up inside your spine and suck liquid out of it, and they use the stem cells from that liquid to genetically engineer the cure for whatever ails you.
But it only works. Jay's just scaring y'all. They don't do that no more.
Well,
they use hook needles now.
Maybe
they use a hook needle now. Yeah, it's a little.
But that's the idea is they use the stem cells to tailor make the drug specifically to heal you, and it won't heal anyone. Like it's something they made for me won't work on Joe, but if they made it tailor made for me, it'll probably have an effect on my immediate family, my son or my daughter.
Well, it might be as simple as it may affect most people with your blood type.
Yes, or in my genetic family, yes.
Yeah. But Gene, it doesn't quite work that way. So if you look at my family and you go back to its original origin, so let's say just the immediate family right here, which is 4 or 5 people, you take that and go all the way back, and then add my wife's family all in there. You're talking 100,000 or more people. It's all related, yes. And then all of them had kids coming forward besides the ones we know about. And offshoots of those family lines. So it gets big quick.
Yes. 6 billion people on this planet. There's so many different combinations our DNA can make. Somebody in this planet may have in their DNA the one strand of information we need to turn on automatic healing, so that you chop off your hand on an accident, and then 10 days later it's grown back.
Well, or you fucking liberals who murdered 60 million babies may have killed it off and we'll never get it.
Yes, that's true too.
Was that being mean? Yeah, it's being fucking mean because it's true. It's worse than that. It's worse than that, Glenda, because worldwide it's 3.3 billion babies. 3.3 billion babies since it's been legal to kill them on this planet.
And what's you did this several months ago. I don't know if you recall, but you did the national growth, like how many people are being born versus people are dying in our country. We're dying more than we're being born. What was the number on that?
So so this is what's really weird about that. So we fluctuate right now between 1.4%, which is right below the breaking even, and 1.7%, which is right above it. So really and truly, we're not dying, but we're not moving. We're offsetting it. Yeah, we're offsetting it. So it's like two years. Boom, we're breathing good, and then 2 years. We're not.
2 years like that. 2 years like this.
But that may be changing because come to find out, and this is an interesting piece of information. So it's the Z Genners and the millennials are actually having children and getting married. So I always hear they're not. Yeah, I always hear that they're not. But when I asked if childbirth was up or down, not only did it say it was up, but it said it was up quite a bit. So I was like, okay, but only with that generation, not with the other ones. So it's just a bottom to it, and they're just now seeing the start.
So this generation is going to be the one that brings back this is going to be the one that kills the nuclear family and brings back the 1950s family.
Yeah, so this is the 30 somethings, 40 early 40s, mid 30s something people. And,
right. But it's history recycling itself. It's gonna it's the nuclear age is gonna fall backwards to like the leave it to beaver age.
Yeah. And some of them are in like their late 20s too, Gene, but it's that group right there, and then they're just having more babies.
Do you know what the dirtiest thing ever said on public television? It was said in the 50s. Do you remember that word, that phrase?
I have no idea.
Oh gosh, you never heard it? Oh, it was in a TV show. I forget the name of the TV show, but the lead character mother in the show said to her husband, "Ward, I think you were a little hard on the beaver last night."
Oh,
Most disgusting thing ever said on television.
Yeah, that's just so sad, people. Half of y'all probably don't even know what he's talking about, though. So it's a TV series.
You gotta be our age to know that.
It's a TV. I wasn't living in the 50s, jackass.
Actually, though, that is kind of an inside joke. You can find out how smart someone is by saying that. No, if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they're stupid.
If you're an ex-gen back, you probably know it. If you're forward from the ex-gen, you probably know.
No clue whatsoever.
Well, somebody's telling me something.
These type of shows, they're wholesome. They're no longer.
Oh, this girl the other day was telling me how good Carol Burnett was. I said, she like dead and gone, right?
God, she was funny.
She's like, really? I said, yeah, she's been dead. I said, quite some time. I said, but if you like her, go watch Lucy Ball. They're about to sing it. It's Oh no, I never hated on Lucy Ball for one reason. You ever heard of what was it, Desilu Productions? Without Desilu Productions, guess what wouldn't have happened?
No Star Trek.
No Star Trek.
We were talking about this on the synchronicity. We were talking about this on the Church of Mavis. Desilu Studios stands for Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. Desilu was on the back lot of Paramount. They were the hit parade of NBC. She ran the company. She didn't even work for them. She was talent. They paid her to make TV shows, and then she made a lot of money for them. Star Trek came around, and when Gene Roddenberry pitched it to the executives, she said, "Buy this. If you don't buy this, I'll take my TV shows to another network." So they told Gene Roddenberry, "Take this money that was given to them from Lucille Ball for him to make another pilot. This does not happen in Hollywood.
Yes,
Hollywood does not. If Hollywood does not like your pilot, that goes into the scrap heap. You get rid of it. You don't do it again. You don't get a second chance. He got a second chance by Lucille Ball."
Okay, look, people, start putting your damn towns in there, or at least your states. Michael, where are you from? Oh, hey, you're from. Oh, Jay just said something about Maine a few minutes ago.
What's that?
No, he's from Maine, actually. The Lucille Ball was a very popular show, and she did a lot of specials and a lot of stuff. And her husband was already a popular singer when they met.
Mm-hmm.
He was Latino.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, Desi Arnaz. Cuban. He was Cuban. He wasn't
Cuban.
He was Cuban.
Yeah, same difference. Cuban, Latino, still Spanish.
I guess so. Cubano.
Or we could just say Hispanic, and that would we stay in the middle somewhere.
We can call him what he is, Cubano.
No, Jack. I don't like using the Spanish word because a lot of my South American friends don't like being called Spanish.
They're Spanish.
Pisses them off.
They're from Latin America.
Well, so this is a real good question for you. So we've had 4 major, huge cultures in South America. Actually, 5. You had the people before the Toltecs, Mayans, Aztecs, and Incans. 5 major civilizations, but everybody speaks Spanish. What the fuck? Spain didn't even rule for them.
No, yeah.
And they only ruled a small area of South America. Not they weren't even South America. They weren't fucking North America.
Do you remember what Thomas Is it Thomas? I think it's Thomas. No, Richard. Richard Cheech-Marin. Cheech and Chong. Remember what Cheech said about Mexican Americans?
Oh.
He actually sang it. What he said was Mexican Americans like to go to night school and take Spanish and get a B.
No, Lord. No more cut in jail. He's officially gone.
I like that story.
Mary, where you from? Oh, well, F you too. Most of you French people are assholes. What? You're not upsetting me, none. Because your country's a has-been country.
Yeah.
Tell me, I got a question for you. Tell me what's the last great fucking thing France has done in any aspect. Tell me when they saved the world. Oh, wait, never. Did they cure COVID? Oh, fuck no, that was America. Well,
they went to the moon. No, that wasn't.
No, that was America too. They ended World War II and was victorious. Oh no, that's right. They were conquered and we had to save their ass.
No, they were half conquered in World War II.
Yeah, they were pretty much proved at the ass. What else? Your food? No, baby. No one's got better food than
I
Paris.
think the only thing they really came up with that's of any worth was coq au vin, which means chicken with wine. Actually means rooster in wine.
Actually, most of y'all chefs come to New Orleans to study. No, they grow up in your town, but they come down here and study because you're going to be a serious chef. You better spend some time in New Orleans. Because every great chef that's come out of New Orleans is a multi-millionaire. With multi-chains.
Emerald.
Oh yeah, Emerald came in here, but there was a lot of other ones besides him. And then,
but he's from there, isn't he?
Yeah, Emerald's from there, but Kellogg's from here, and then he went on to do quite a few other things besides that. Chef Paul Perdone is from here. It's some of the big ones that you find, like working out in Vegas and New York or San Francisco. Those are all New Orleans chefs that probably worked at places like Antoine's or the Quarter Two Sisters or one of the other ones. I mean, there's several very old restaurants in New Orleans. It's been around a long time that are credit for inventing a lot of foods, from different types of oysters to different types of desserts. Because New Orleans is an eatery. It's not a normal city.
Yeah.
People just like to eat here, and they like a serious variety. Restaurants per capita in the city is ridiculous. I mean, if you're walking around anywhere in the upper part of the city, there's a fucking restaurant on every corner. And if there's a store there, there's a restaurant in a damn store. It's crazy. And everybody's got good food. It's rare you run across anything bad. They got a little po' boy shop in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. Makes one of the best roast beef gravy po' boys I've ever eaten.
Nice.
I was like, man, we used to go down there a lot, but it was dangerous. Every the truck was locked up, tools were put away. You come back, man, and took your rims off your truck and shit. It's rough. They're good food, man. Oh yeah, they're really good food. No, the Europeans just need to give us a chance. Get behind us instead of trying to block every move we make. Help to excel the process, not to slow it down.
I mean, the European banks are still in control of our Federal Reserve, right?
So, Europeans, I'm going to hurt you. Okay, it's going to hurt. So, currently, the science rate percent in the United States is 4%. That's huge. Under Barack Obama, it was 0.165%, and he had been putting a lot of money into it. The next person who had actually put a little money into it that helped it was Bill Clinton, and he had it up right around 1%. Trump's got it up 4%. That's an insane amount of science. Europe is like 0.25%.
Wow. What's Japan?
I didn't ask about Japan, but it was. How do you ask the question? What is the science growth? What's your yearly science growth rate? Ask Google for Japan. They'll tell you.
Hey Google, what's the yearly science growth rate for Japan?
Japan's R&D expenditure recently saw a 4.9% increase, reaching a record 1.7 trillion yen.
Okay,
While
that's not quite the same thing.
Investment grew by 6.4%. Overall growth in scientific research output has been moderate compared to other major economies, with some sectors experiencing a long-term leveling off.
Huh.
So they're probably
Not quite
somewhere
what we're
around.
looking for, but sounds like about 5%.
No, it sounds like more like about 2%. It's but still, that's when she said that about it's below most averages. Average is low. No, it's no, because most places, a matter of fact, when you ask about this, you'll find out until the 1600s, science was negative. Negative.
Yeah.
Yes. And then in 1600s it started. I think it was like.
Well, I mean, aren't we?
1575.
We are now in the science age. But back,
Yeah.
200 years, it wasn't the science age. It was still a steam age.
Well, now we're moving into the quantum physics age. It's going to be a little bit different.
Welcome back, Heidi.
We just move along as we go as a society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. No, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it this way. Let's do it old school. Let's see. There's Jose. Where is it? Okay, there's our show. We don't need to hear that. Oh wait, let's put this on. Okay. Oh, wait, what the bleep? I'm trying not to curse people, but it don't want to behave itself. Okay, if anybody needs to go pee, it's gonna be about a 7-minute little break here. 6, 7, something like that. This is something you might not want to see up close. So let me put this on the screen. Let me put this up on the screen for y'all. There you go.
All right, it's up.
Give me full screen. I didn't want that shit. Okay, well, up, you said? Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Well, read the title to him. Can you see it up there? No, you can't.
Doomsday is here. A nuclear bomb has just unleashed hell.
Oh, here we go, people. Well, no, this was. Hold on, Jack. That's the title right there. What would happen if a nuclear bomb destroyed near you? No, he couldn't see it because it went on screen. Yeah, he couldn't see it. Wasn't there, man. Let's see. Look. All right, here we go, people.
A nuclear bomb has just unleashed hell right in front of your eyes. The land turns to ash and scatters in the wind in just moments. You have mere seconds to get to safety. But once that blast hits, how could the light burn your skin? Why should you never look at the explosion? And how can taking off your clothes save your life? This is What If, and here's what would happen if a nuke exploded near you.
Number one, you're dead.
Once that missile launches, you can't escape what's coming next. But what are you facing? Well, 4 types of energy are about to be unleashed. First, a blast wave would rip through the landscape, knocking you around like a rag doll and destroying buildings. After that, brace yourself for intense light, followed by skin-melting heat and deadly radiation. Then, a hot bubble of gas will form a fireball that will vaporize everything inside it. All that dust debris will shoot up into the air, creating the iconic mushroom cloud. Even if you somehow survived this nightmare, why would your life never be the same again? So far, only one nation has used a nuclear bomb against its enemy. The first of the 2 bombs dropped on Japan by the United States during World War II, Little Boy, decimated Hiroshima. It had the strength of 15 kilotons of TNT. But that's nothing compared to what nuclear weapons are packing today. The most powerful is 80 times stronger than what hit Hiroshima. Now, while that would be devastating and level everything for miles, it wouldn't make our planet a nuclear wasteland. You, on the other hand, well, you wouldn't be so lucky. If you happen to be in the blast vicinity, your days would be numbered. Remember that intense bright light? Yeah, well, that flash is strong enough to burn your skin off. These intense flash burns can be fatal, and they killed 50% of the people who died in Japan. And here's hoping you didn't stare directly into that blast, because this devastating light would oversaturate your retinal pigments and leave you blind. Flash blindness can go away after 2 minutes if the explosion happens during the day, but at night, you could be blinded for much longer. And if you weren't sheltered, you may not survive what's coming next. In just a fraction of a second, the nuclear fireball would expand out like a balloon rising into the sky. The heat from that fireball would send out a blast wave that would rip you and the ground under you apart. If you didn't make it indoors before the blast, the supersonic wave might kill you by ripping off your skin or sending you flying through the air. Then, a violent burst of thermal radiation would be released and head right toward you. And unfortunately for you, it's only going to get worse. Next, a second pulse would hit, lasting a few seconds this time. This wave would carry 99% of the total thermal radiation from the nuke. You could be 8 kilometers away and still suffer first-degree burns from this detonation. And all that would happen in a matter of moments. Then, the resulting mushroom cloud would tower above everything. So, what would you do now? Well, even if you only suffered third-degree burns, the pain would be enough to send your body into instant shock. Hospitals, if there were any left in the area, would be so overrun with other victims that you might not get treated for hours. Gamma and neutron radiation would cover everything the first minute after the blast. If you somehow lived through that blast wave and the fiery heat, this radiation might kill you. As the dust settles, the radioactive particles would penetrate everything, making the blast site hazardous for months, if not years. Radiation exposure could lead to brain seizures and cancer. It might even reduce the lymphocyte cells in your blood. That would increase your risk for infections. To avoid that lethal fallout, you'd have to run and hide. You'd have about 10 minutes before the radiation hits, so hustle and get to a concrete or brick building to shelter you for the next 24 hours. And you're gonna want to get naked. If you take off your radiated clothes, you could remove up to 90% of the radioactive material clinging to you, so save your modesty for another time. Now, since you've stripped down, wash yourself with soap and water to get rid of any remaining radioactive particles. Now, there probably wouldn't be any power left, but you'd have to keep the air conditioning and the fans off if there was. Otherwise, contaminated air from the outside could come in. Now, no matter how safe you are, you can never guarantee that nuclear annihilation is far away. Yeah, after all, the United States and Russia own 90% of the world's nuclear weapons, so what would happen if Russia launched a nuke? Well, get to the shelter and keep watching, because that's a story for another What If.
Yeah.
What if, baby? Okay.
Well, very
Here's what would
interesting.
happen if we nuked Kepler-22b. This exoplanet might be our twin.
Why are we nuking Kepler? What the hell is that about?
I don't know. Yeah, why? Yeah.
Yeah, who's using my aliens, man? What the fuck? Who's be using my stuff? I get upset.
Here's what would happen.
Those belong to us.
Here's what would happen if we. Here's what would happen if we nuked Kepler-22b. This.
All right, we don't hear about that one. Let's see. Let's get back on the screen. Wrong button. Posted it. I seen that come up on Messenger box, but I think it just disappeared. You're gonna have to send it to me again. Let's see. Facebook. The U.S. Navy just sent a powerful message to Iran.
Oh yeah, like recently.
I don't know. I think I've seen this picture before. I'm pretty sure I've seen this picture before. This is just weird. Let me put this up. Not sure what this is about, but it's going to show us how long it can we watch
It's
it?
up there. Is that what you,
I lost it there for a minute.
Yeah.
That's it. It's got a commercial on it. Yep. Okay. How long is this? All right, hold on. Stop. Damn. Look at that thing's on the screen. You said. Okay.
yeah, it's a planet or the United States.
Oh wait, no, wrong thing then. Okay, hold on. Come back everybody. Okay. That's the opening part of it, but that's not what we need. And Iran. What's his name? He's named after that little orange pineapple guy from Doctor Who. Okay, well maybe once we started, I'll be able to see the button. I want to put on folks. So, here's your time change thing, people. That map y'all seen was showing how it affects the different states when you change the time.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Well, we're going to turn it on right now and find out, Jack. Let me hit the play button. I'm hearing no audio. Y'all hear anything? Oh, there it is.
No, not yet. There we go.
Yeah, we know all of this. Tell us something we don't know. This ain't saying shit. Boo. Boo.
No.
Boo. I can boo if I want to boo. This was bullshit is what that was. Oh, look at this. America's new rare earth empire.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this thing's going really fast for some reason, man. China's still got like 88% there.
Yeah.
At the
They
rate
got
we're
us
going, at the rate they're going, it won't be for long. They said within 3 years it'll be 50-50.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, it's really working in China. But we're not really trying to develop it for the world. We're just trying to develop it for ourselves.
Yeah, we don't need it for the world. We need it for us.
Yeah, we don't want to. We just don't. No, Jack, we don't want to be beholden to China or something. Yeah, the map it shows you the colors, but it doesn't give me any breakdown of it. Doesn't even make any sense. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, let's go look at this. We might not be able to watch this whole one, but let's see. Now, Jimmy, some of these clips are really good, but they're too long for the whole show. Yeah, because Jay'll fall asleep. We can't do that. So,
Yeah.
let's see. Put me up on. Yeah, put me up on screen.
It's up. Yeah, it's up.
Okay, got a big planet Earth. There's some big planet
Yeah.
up there. Okay, here we go. What the bleep? Oh,
It's an advertisement.
was that? Yeah, it was.
Still muted. There we
Wow.
go.
It has wind.
Let's try this from
You are
start.
looking at the most Earth-like world ever found, and almost everything about that sentence is a lie. It has clouds, it has wind, it has rivers that carve valleys, and rain that falls from a sky thick enough to walk through.
Regular
It has shorelines, it has seasons. From far enough away, you could mistake it for home, but for decades, you couldn't look at it at all. A veil of orange haze wrapped this world so completely that our most powerful eyes saw only a smudge, a blurred amber marble orbiting Saturn, keeping its surface a secret. And then, in the winter of 2022, humanity pointed a brand new kind of eye at it. The James Webb Space Telescope looked
James
straight
Webb
through the
causing
haze
trouble again.
and caught Titan doing something no one expected to see. It didn't find a dead, frozen rock. It found something that was still happening, still moving, still becoming. And once you understand what that something is, the silence of this world stops feeling peaceful. It starts to feel
Really?
Let's start with what
I ain't never
Titan
seen
is.
no green.
It is the
pictures
largest
site.
moon of Saturn and the second largest moon in the entire solar system, bigger than the planet Mercury. But size isn't what makes it strange. What makes it strange is its air. Titan is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere, not a thin wisp like Mars, a real one, denser than the air you are breathing right now, pressing down hard on Earth's own sky. It is made mostly of nitrogen, just like ours. And inside that nitrogen, something familiar is happening. There are clouds up there. They gather, they drift, they release rain that falls all the way to the ground and pools into rivers, into lakes, into seas large enough to swallow the Great Lakes of North America whole. Stand on the surface
Ammonium?
and you would see weather,
Probably
real
something
weather,
like that.
a landscape shaped by liquid falling from the sky over millions of years. Deltas, channels, coastlines. It is the only place we have ever found, besides Earth itself, where liquid falls from the clouds and collects on solid ground. And here is where the familiarity breaks, because none of that liquid is water. It is methane, the same gas that hisses out of your kitchen stove. On Titan, it is so cold, nearly minus 180 degrees Celsius, that methane behaves the way water does on Earth. It evaporates, it clouds, it rains down as cold, oily droplets onto a frozen world where the rock beneath your feet is water ice, hardened until it's as solid as granite. A second Earth, running on the wrong chemistry, at the wrong temperature. And for 13 years, we watched it through a single fading pair of eyes, never quite seeing the one thing that mattered most. Almost everything we know about Titan came from one mission, Cassini, the spacecraft that orbited Saturn for 13 years and dropped a small probe called Huygens through Titan's haze in 2005, the only landing humanity has ever made in the outer solar system.
Los Angeles is huge in the riding community. You can't go to an event without them being there, and that's because they're there to support the culture. They're all riders themselves.
The advice I'd give someone if they were injured in a motorcycle accident, first call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS.
Now, boy, Tiger just blow my eardrum out.
For over a decade, Cassini mapped Titan's seas, traced its rivers, and watched its weather from above. And then, in 2017, it was over. Out of fuel, Cassini was deliberately steered into Saturn and destroyed to protect the moons it had spent so long studying. It left behind a problem. Titan's year is long. A single trip around the sun takes nearly 30 Earth years, which means its seasons last for years at a time.
Damn.
And for almost all of Cassini's mission, Titan's northern hemisphere, the half of the world where nearly all of those methane seas are pooled, was locked in the dim half-light of winter and early spring. The North was just waking up when Cassini died. It's summer, the season when those seas should be warming, evaporating, driving the weather hardest, had barely begun. No spacecraft was there to watch it. So when the James Webb Space Telescope turned towards Saturn in November of 2022, and again in July of 2023, it wasn't just taking pretty pictures. Working alongside the Keck Observatory in Hawaii, it was aiming its infrared eyes at a season of Titan that no close instrument had ever properly seen, and at the exact region where its seas are concentrated. The question going in was simple. Does Titan's weather actually do anything up there? The answer it sent back changed the question entirely. It stopped being about whether Titan still has weather, and became about what that weather is quietly doing to the chemistry of the entire world. Here is the first thing Webb saw. In the mid and high latitudes of Titan's northern hemisphere, right over the seas, there were clouds. That alone wasn't a shock. We'd seen Titan's clouds before, but these clouds were doing something. Over a span of days, Webb and Keck watched them climb. They rose to higher and higher altitudes, lifting through the atmosphere in front of our eyes. To you, that might sound minor. To a scientist, it was electric, because rising clouds are the fingerprint of convection, the same engine that builds thunderstorms on Earth. Warm air lifts.
Oh, with these commercials, man.
Another one, damn it.
At least we gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
Carries moisture upward, cool,
We gotta jump in.
floating in it. And one of those signatures had never been seen on Titan before. It's called the methyl radical. Its formula is simple. 1 carbon atom, 3 hydrogens, CH3. A fragment, a broken piece of methane, caught in the middle of becoming something else. Here is why that fragment matters. On Titan, sunlight and charged particles streaming off Saturn are constantly smashing methane molecules apart. The pieces don't just float away, they recombine. They link up into longer, heavier, more complex molecules, the building blocks of organic chemistry, the same family of carbon-based molecules that, on the early Earth, eventually led to life. For decades, we could see the starting ingredients in Titan's air, the raw methane, and we could see some of the finished products, the heavy organic haze, but we had never caught the middle, the reaction itself, the moment of transformation, as one of the scientists put it. Until now, we'd only ever seen the flour and the sugar, and then the finished, iced cake. With Webb, for the first time, we are watching the cake actually rising in the oven. Sit with that. On a moon of Saturn, in a sky of methane, the chemistry that precedes life is happening right now. Not frozen in the past, not theorized on a whiteboard, but unfolding in real time, caught in the act by a telescope built by a species on another world. This is not life. Let's be precise about that. Webb did not find Titan crawling with anything, but it found the recipe, being followed, step by step, in the present tense. So why would a scientist look at that? The building blocks of life assembling themselves break apart in the 2030s and hunt through that chemistry.
We think it's cool that they want peace. Russian rebels against Putin, they refuse to die for his stupid war. So the Russian rebels just gave Putin a big fat bird finger. Look at him in the street, man. You better be careful, Putin.
Well, I think as a whole, he's been losing traction in popularity these last 2 years.
For a while,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
At least the last 2 years. It went pretty bad when he lost all those people, all those tanks. Because he lost 14 generals in the first year. And half of was fucking outrageous. And half of them got killed because they were on their cell phone. I mean, Jesus, what kind of idiot people you got over there?
Yeah. And they're zoning in on you.
Can you see that sun? Can you, let me see. No, wait. Let's go. Just throw.
All right.
Let's just throw Facebook up there in general. Okay.
There it is. All right.
So this, this is our sun. Earth just survived the sun's most powerful storm in decades. But they're saying the next one could be worse and even shut down some countries for up to a year or more. The article reads like we should be out there hardening all of our electronics for EMP.
It also sounds like if you have an intention of coming over here legally, you better put your application in because something's bad coming down the pike.
Jimmy, so from something you said earlier, because this next piece pertains to that. So Iran did ask the Houthis to attack. Not the Hormuz Strait, the other one. It's not coming to my head for some reason. But instead, the Saudi military carries out airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. Yeah. So Saudi said they're not going to put up with it. No, there's another place right here. Yeah, see where this little blue light is? Iran wants to.
No, we don't see the same thing you are. Actually, it's your screen must have ballooned out onto.
No, you can see it. That's the same thing.
Where? No. It's
I can see the guy on here. It's not gonna let me blow it up. But anyway, this canal right here on this left, this channel, whatever this is, right down here, because that's Yemen right there.
It's Suez, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Suez. And so there's they want the Houthis to block that up so they can't get in and out. Just like they want Iran to cut this off over here. So what bothers me about all of this is these countries and the people who deal with them were stupid enough to rely on this much when you know both of these are vital areas that a terrorist group could choke off.
Right. Well, and at the same time, they're not doing anything for the last 47 years to stop the bully in the pit here, and that bully was Iran. They've bullied this region and our country for 47 years. They've killed at least tens of thousands of people, of Americans only, just counting them. If you count worldwide, what is it? It's got to be hundreds of thousands of people they've killed with their bombs. Why are we talking with these people? Why are we waiting for them to come to the negotiation table? Blow them the hell back to the Stone Age and let them come back and talk about how much their club is better than our machine gun.
That's watching. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a little quick listen, people. I think it's only 2 minutes.
Okay, guys. Yeah, that's a little big. That's a little bigger. Now we can see a little more detail.
Yeah, so anyway, what we were talking about was this little piece right here. This is where they're trying to get the Houthis to block off. And it's tiny.
Yeah.
Still here, people. And Jay and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I still don't understand this. Why don't we just cut a canal through here? I don't understand why we just don't just go right here and just take this whole section.
Actually, I think they are.
I mean, I think we should just take this whole section out.
I think Qatar is doing that right now. Hey, Google, are any of the countries near the Strait of Hormuz currently cutting a canal to bypass the strait?
No, countries near the Strait of Hormuz are not building a canal. Instead, they are aggressively expanding and constructing extensive pipeline networks to transport oil directly to the Red Sea, the Gulf of Oman, and the Mediterranean to avoid reliance on the strait. While these projects are designed to enhance energy security, experts note they are costly and remain vulnerable to regional geopolitical
Okay, hey Google, stop. Yeah, so they're trying to go from that little boot thingy that we're underneath Iran, which is the Persian Gulf. Hey Google, stop. Jesus. So they're trying to go from that. What is that? Is that the Iranian Gulf, the Persian Gulf?
So basically, what they want to do is they want to put. Iran will have a pipeline coming out, but you'll have pipelines coming from other places, and they'll all be coming down to here.
Yeah, coming from the Persian Gulf to the Red Sea, and they're going to load up in the Red Sea and come out to the Sea with the Suez Canal.
And just pop in here and take off.
Or the Bar el Mandeb Strait, whatever the hell that is.
Anyway, let's see. Well, let's see what this courtesy of Fox News, people. We got to give people credit, whoever the guy is. I don't know. I'm sure I should know, but I don't.
That Iran may be opening another front in the conflict using their terrorist proxies, the Houthi rebels from Yemen. Intelligence reports say Iran is reinforcing their efforts with personnel and equipment. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has that part of the story tonight. Good evening, Jen.
Good evening, Brett. Sources tell Fox the Saudi military is currently carrying out airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. Explosions have been heard near naval targets in the port of Hodeidah. This is in response to the Houthis hitting a Saudi oil tanker and targeting another in the Red Sea, a dangerous escalation tonight in the Middle East. A new front in the Middle East could complicate U.S. efforts and send oil prices even higher. Iran's proxy in Yemen, the Houthis, say they have closed the Bab el-Mandeb Strait to Saudi shipping. They fired at 2 Saudi oil tankers yesterday, hitting one and potentially forcing ships to take the long and expensive route through the Suez Canal and all the way around Africa, another unexpected disruption to the flow of oil.
The Yemeni armed forces carried out a special military operation targeting 2 Saudi oil tankers that had violated the blockade decision.
On Truth Social, President Trump indicated that Iran would be held accountable and pay the price for any Houthi strikes. Iran recently flew IRGC commanders, military advisors, and missile and drone-related equipment into Yemen to bolster the Houthis' ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Red Sea. President Trump's 2025 Operation Rough Rider bombing campaign hit over 1,000 targets in Yemen and significantly degraded Houthi capabilities. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs was asked how effective airstrikes alone are historically.
Power's got limits, and we always have to be mindful of those. I think
Iran has retained its proxies and a significant ballistic missile and drone capability, despite what Pentagon officials said in April.
Their missile program is functionally destroyed. Launchers, production facilities, and existing stockpiles depleted and decimated, and almost completely ineffective.
The Saudi oil tanker that was struck today in the Red Sea suffered minor hull damage and continued to its destination, according to Saudi state news agency. The vessel and crew are safe. Brett?
So, now you see how this is, people.
I participated in many of those ceremonies myself.
Let's talk.
They picked the wrong ship.
On a quiet morning in April of 2025, the USS Harry S. Truman sliced through the calm waters of the Red Sea. Another standard patrol, part of a larger carrier strike group keeping a close watch on shipping lanes and potential threats off the coast of Yemen. Above the deck, FA-18s circled. Inside, sailors moved through their daily routines. Then,
let's talk about the Tesla bot today.
Botsuckers is huge in the riding community. You can't go to the event without them being there, and that's because they're being there, and that's because of the culture. They're all riders themselves.
The advice I give someone if they were injured in a motorcycle accident, $1-800-TIGER.
No, shit, what was that?
Wow, guy, what the hell was that?
So, but anyway, you see what the title is. Saudi military carries out airstrikes against Houthi targets.
No,
Did you
it came
see?
off. You got to represent it. It came off.
No, that was what was just up.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not on anymore. It's not up.
No, I took it off. But in the whole thing, they never said anything about Saudi airstrikes. The
Yeah.
girl was just bitching about Trump. They didn't say anything about Saudi airstrikes. That didn't even make any sense. Yeah, I mean,
Well, but things are definitely escalating in the region. There's no question. So let me double check what our doomsday clock says. Yeah, it still says 85 seconds.
It's not really an escalation because they can't even get back up to where they were when they were fighting against us. The girl,
we're escalating. They're not. We are.
Well, no, they were shooting in the Suez Canal today, so that's an escalation. But I mean, it's we're not sending near as much as we were before, and neither are they. I think our problem is we're just running out of targets.
Well, I think we're running out of not only targets but things to hit targets with.
I think we're running out of leaders. I think we're getting tired of killing leaders because we can't get anything done because we keep killing freaking leaders off.
Well, yeah, and there's a new rumor that the gay Ayatollah is dead as well. So I mean,
it's no, they're saying he never came out of the coma. That his face was shot, tore up on one side, and one leg was really messed up, and the other one was messed up too, and he just didn't recover. And every picture of him so far has been a Google AI. Yeah, they've tested all of them.
Yeah, he's a goner.
So if he's not, he's probably not functional anymore. And that's the real problem because every time they make peace, somebody else goes and throws some shit at him.
Yeah.
No, they need to let Israel go in there and kill everybody and be done with it.
I agree. I mean, it's to the point where they say, let's make a deal. They signed the deal. They signed the deal 3 times. They've broken the deal every single time. Every single time. I mean, it's over. It's time for talk is over. And I've said it for years. You got to treat it like you're a parent and their children. You have 2 kids, 1 toy. Mine. Eventually, the parent comes over and goes, mine. You go to your room. You go to your room, and you'll never see this again. That's what has to happen here. And people haven't been wanting to do this for 50 damn years. It's past time.
It's been just this should have been done a long time ago by a different president.
This should have happened on day one. I mean, after the helicopter crashes, Carter should have escalated. He said, "Look, our troops died coming to rescue our citizens. Let them go, or there'll be repercussions." He didn't have the spine or the backbone for it. If it had been Trump, that would have been resolved. If it had happened under Trump, put Trump instead of Carter in Carter's place, I'll bet you that this would be a different world already. I'll bet you we would now have, we would probably have closer to world peace if this had happened 50 years ago.
Yeah, probably would have, because we went through a lot less of that bullshit with the Middle East.
Throw this up here, boom.
Yeah, throw it up there.
It's up there. What's that? Oh, there's a drill. What are they drilling?
They found a 24,000-year-old creature.
A platform that thinks like you. The new Grade Pro gives you nearly unlimited customization.
While drilling about 11 feet beneath the surface of permafrost in northeastern Siberia, researchers uncovered a 24,000-year-old frozen life form, and then they brought it to life. Before cloning it, or better said, it cloned itself. This might sound like the beginning of a sinister horror story, but don't worry, it's actually quite the opposite. What scientists unearthed was a microscopic frozen organism that could fundamentally reshape what we think about evolution
Don't look like
and
no
survival.
creature.
The uncovered tiny creatures are called bedelloid rotifers, microscopic animals with little wheel-like mouths that they use both for moving and feeding. They were first discovered in 1696 and are fairly common in freshwater environments around the world. Despite this, bedelloid rotifers have diversified into over 450 distinct species over millions of years, which is extremely rare. Scientists believe or simply water bears back to life after 30 years in cryptobiosis. Tardigrades are even more impressive because they can live in a suspended state for up to 30 years without food or water and with temperature swings from deep freeze to 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's from Star
These
Trek
guys can
Discovery,
also
man.
endure crushing deep sea pressures, vacuum, microgravity, and intense radiation of space.
No damn advertisement.
Yeah, and if you don't hit the play button, they'll stay there.
Electrical problems can sneak up fast,
scam
and when
and a
they
half.
do, you need a trusted electrician who knows how to fix it right. Keeps is here to get things working quickly, safely, and always with a smile.
For fast relief, call Keith.
Remember when we said earlier that these species can survive the harshest conditions on Earth and beyond? It wasn't an exaggeration, and now you understand why. And it's exactly why NASA and its partners sent water bears and bedelloid rotifers into orbit. They've even been aboard the ISS, helping scientists understand how these animals
not that
handle
big.
microgravity, radiation, and stress. Not only that, but in 2007, the European Space Agency launched a bunch of tardigrades into low Earth orbit, completely exposed. No suit, no shield, floating in a vacuum. They were blasted by cosmic radiation, UV light 1,000 times stronger than what hits Earth's surface, and temperatures near absolute zero. And when they came back, most of them woke up and reproduced despite the harsh conditions they were exposed to. This ties into an old theory called panspermia, the idea that life didn't originate on Earth but arrived here, locked in space dust or trapped inside a meteorite. Before, maybe it sounded like a fringe science, but when organisms can brush off cosmic radiation, then it doesn't seem so far-fetched, does it? What about humans? Does this mean we now fully understand the way hibernation works and are close to putting humans in this state? Sorry for spoiling it for you, but it still feels more like science fiction. However, researching rotifers, water bears, and similar organisms can lead to massive breakthroughs in other fields. Their resilience might be a blueprint for medicine, for reshaping what it means to age, maybe even to pause life itself, or extend it. We're talking real, practical innovations, from better preservation of human organs for transplantation to drugs that slow aging at the cellular level. And yes, maybe even cryogenic hibernation, long enough to make interstellar travel possible.
In 2011, scientists from Chile found a weird...
No more weird. See, oh, yeah, I can't see the picture. Let me show you what the article shows on the. There it is. So that's what it shows the creature is. You see it?
What?
That's what they're saying.
That
the creature.
big?
Yeah, that's bullshit. It was microscopic. That just I don't know what that is. That's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's AI.
No, Jack, it's constant bullshit all the time. Pentagon dropped 40 new YAP files today. Unlike anything I now you see, we're gonna have to go look. Son of a mosquito. Yeah, I'm a son of a mosquito. My dad definitely ate biscuits. Oh God, ain't no doubt about that. I could try.
I went to dinner in downtown Waynesboro. I went to and picked up burgers from a place called the Crispy Biscuit.
The Crispy Biscuit sounds pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good burger. Boardwalk fries.
They ain't gonna give us no. They ain't gonna give us no pictures. We don't care. No pictures. Jack, they just. Oh wait. Maybe they did give us something. Hold on.
We must have opened another window because we're not seeing whatever you're.
Yeah, I got to take this off. They should make it the way you can follow through, but it doesn't work that way here. Okay, can we make these bigger? There we go. What's this? Some boring
I don't know. Let's
transcript.
put it up. That's up there. Yeah, look at that. I've seen that picture before.
Yeah, yeah. See, we don't know. Are these windows or are those little hump things we always talk about where it's parked?
Or are they missile bays? Yeah, what the heck?
I don't know. This looks more like a rocket because I see something coming out the ass end. Let's see. Ooh, what's this? Something for
Looks
fake
like a
track.
wing.
Yeah, it looks like a canvas of some kind like that. Unless it's dense. The star thing again, which we know what that is now, people.
It's an artifact of the IR camera, making those sun streaks.
Oh no, because Jay and I were watching this infrared. It was some night shot. Four going across the water, and when they zoomed in and got in behind it directly, that's exactly the pattern they left. So no, because you could see these things moving sideways. See, they weren't giving off a light like that. It's the scattering from the sensor.
Yeah, it's the technology. It's
what's
not
sad is
craft,
that what's really sad at this is the second time we've seen it, we figure it out.
Yeah.
I guess there's some white stuff up in the sky right there. I see a dot.
Yeah.
I guess all this is lit up.
Yeah, look at that. UFOs on a football field.
That's what it looks like. There's something right here, I guess. See, what is that?
That's outside of a spacecraft. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a SpaceX flight today, guys. Starship
that was
13.
awesome. I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't see the spaceship landing. We can probably find this one. I think we got the. Okay, so it's nothing. It's nothing, people. Nothing. This is the same thing. Multimedia news, resources.
You can toggle it to that page to show only videos or only photos.
Let's see. Speeches, managed news stories, multimedia photos, photo collections, week photos, video. Let's see. Let's go to photo collection first. I'm looking at what am I looking at?
I don't know.
This don't look like no UFO. That looks like a B-1 Lancer getting fuel, but I mean,
yeah.
Some people swimming around, some seals, some drone guy trying to get his wee cut off. Some dude saying, "Hey, shark, I'm right here, shark, come see me."
Plunk.
Oh wait, what's this? Let me look at this.
B-2 bomber.
Dropping a cruise missile at that. Yes, we're dumbass. We put the flag on top of the tank so you can see us.
Yeah, and I got to get up early tomorrow, Joe. So I am fading, so I think I'm going to bail on you.
Yeah, go ahead and get out of here, man. Go get some rest. I'll talk to you later. I got a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other one I want to do. So get you some sleep, baby.
Oh yeah, I will be back on tomorrow on the chat. So, and we'll see Sean tomorrow night too. He had to stay home and watch his mom. His brother went out on the town. So, full show tomorrow. Thanks, Joe. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, be good, babe.
All right, man.
Damn. Still ain't what I'm looking for, people. It's supposed to be a UFO site. Give me a break. Let's go back up here. Let's see. Yeah, we can take a look at this just because. This is, they transformed the bodies that were killed. People killed. Oh, there we go. Let's see, that was fast. Isn't that the president down there in the end? No, he's not going to be doing like Joe Biden. Watch it. That's not wrong. far as I know, he never served. Obama didn't serve either. Clinton didn't serve either. Okay. Trump's a Jeff Dodge. Clinton didn't serve. I don't know. I still ain't seen no damn UFOs, man. Come on. Well, we out of here. Goodbye. Don't let it kick your ass. Enceladus, man. They think they found life on this other moon. It's another moon around Saturn, I believe. They think they found life on it. It's hey Mary, I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been? No, they just lately it seems like we're starting to notice things. Maybe our sensors are just getting better and we're starting to catch things that suggest that there's life in places that originally we said there wasn't. But it makes sense that the more sophisticated the equipment gets, the more stuff that we can see. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna all move to Mars. Well, we all might move to Mars one day. Yeah, we might. It's well, I mean, most of us will probably be dead. Well, not most of us, but if everything's going good for Elon, they'll start putting people in the colony probably within 5 or 6 years, and within a decade, they'll have 250,000 people there. Because we don't have to wait for the humans to build. He's sending the robots ahead of time to build. That way, the start of the colony is already there whenever it gets there. And when they get there, you got more robots coming too. So now you got the robots and the humans building and expanding. Well, one of the goals is to make sure they have fuel and water before they get there, in case for some reason they have to turn around and come back or something. Yeah. What's more than just that? I think they want fuel for a couple of things. Well, maybe all the vehicles they send, they might not want them to be all running on electricity. The problem with that is you can't really use combustion in the way we do because you need oxygen. Well, you can put tanks on it, yeah. But, so your motorcycle's gonna have an oxygen tank on it, along with the fuel. Well, if you could do that, that's actually can be done. You could force air. Yeah, it's like a turbo. You could force air into the system. I don't know. You'd have to work all that out. Well, there's way less gravity on Mars, 2/3 less. So there'd be way less pushback against whatever you were driving. It wouldn't take as much power. Well, imagine, how like Evel Knievel used to like to jump things. Just think about hitting the ramp on Mars. Your ass might get up to the top of the atmosphere. She'll look like the ET kid riding his bicycle. Oh yeah. No, but it's interesting because one of these planets they had set something on, and they got an image. It's an ice world. It's probably this one. It's you see this dark, long. Only thing you could consider it here would be a whale. It looked like it just kind of surfaced up and bumped the top of the ice and then kind of bent and went back and just disappeared underneath. But yeah, I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been some type of hunk of black ice or something. There's no telling what it was. But it was wicked to see something move. It let you know that it was liquid underneath it. That's for sure. It definitely let you know that it was liquid. And it didn't even seem to be that deep from the top of the surface. Well, I imagine that's going to vary anywhere you go. Well, look at Pluto. Pluto turned out to be something entirely different. The more we studied Pluto, the more we're like, what the hell? So I've been talking about the 5th planet for a long time. And I'm not talking about Jupiter. I'm talking about the one day, because Jupiter would have been the 6th planet back then. It just seems like, there's been evidence recently to suggest that at least part of the asteroid field was compressed at one time, because some of the minerals you see can only be formed like in the creation of a planet, or like the pressure of a volcano or something. intenseness of the deed. But regardless, it does seem like, it does seem like in the past. Wait, what? You see them distracting me completely. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to find life in a lot of places. That doesn't seem to be an issue. And as far as Earth, the abundance of life on Earth is ridiculous. I mean, if Earth is the norm, the universe is teeming with stuff. But getting back to what we were talking about, so there seemed to have been a planet there. Now, the question is, was this an inhabitable planet? I really think at one time there was Venus, Earth, Mars, and this other planet. I think there was 4 inhabitable planets here. They're all in the Goldilocks zone now. The asteroid belt's in the Goldilocks zone. So, and there are, well, it might not have been the whole asteroid. If it was the whole asteroid belt, and it was a planet about 5 times the size of Earth. And that's how Nareeb was described, as 5 times the size of Earth. It's a big planet. And it would be tugging and pushing on stuff. It would be caught in between Mars and Jupiter and being tugged on. So that could have cracked it up. Maybe Jupiter alone cracked it up. Maybe something else went on. If you were born there, that would be considered like a really heavy world or so. If you were born on a 5G planet, when you came to Earth, you'd be Superman. You went to Mars, you'd be like double Superman. Yeah, you'd be like Hercules, go stand beneath the planet and pick it up and shit. It's so on the moon, I could lift up the front of my Camry with one hand easily and hold it up while I was taking the trim tires. On Mars, it wouldn't be quite as easy, but it would still be a lot easier. Moving around will be easier. The only reason it'll be harder on us in the beginning is because we're going to have to wear pressure suits. Once we stabilize the pressure on Mars, and all we have to wear is breathing apparatus, it'll be much different. Yeah, because then you can just throw on a tank with a face mask and go. And you can even have them compressed tanks with you that hold a lot of air in small tanks. Well, I would imagine after a while what will happen on Mars, just like you'll have electric refueling stations for your car, you'll have oxygen refueling stations along the way. And I will imagine a lot of the vehicles will be able to produce oxygen. Yeah, it's how they'll explore Mars. And eventually, like I said, they're going to normalize the pressure. They've already got ideas on how to do it. It doesn't have to even take that long. In less than 2 decades, they can have the pressure high enough that you don't have to wear a pressure suit. Yeah, they're just going to put these, I think they said 10 of them. And they're just, I don't know, they're like a mile, 2 miles long. And all they do is got a big bucket on the front that just scoops up dirt, rolls along, scooping up dirt, and drops it into a thing that superheats it and, turns it, disintegrates it basically, or kicks the minerals out of it. And all of that pollution, all that dust, all that air goes into the atmosphere. And it thickens the atmosphere. Yeah, but they're doing it in such a way so that the stuff that's thickening the atmosphere isn't like radioactive or anything like that. It's composite dust that when it settles, however long. Well, because we need it. It's not just that, too. We need to get stuff stirred up on Mars, to get the topsoil moved around so we can get new topsoil in there or get organic stuff in there for topsoil. So we're going to have to grow stuff if we're going to stay there. In the beginning, we'll grow underground. And I imagine just in Olympus Mons alone, you could probably put 1 million or more people. I mean, I imagine there's lots of room in there. It seems to be dead. And if it's dead and it goes, if the strike is true, and a meteor hit the other side and made it come out the other side, that means there's probably a core all the way through, all the way across to the other side. It may even go by the core. And if the core is dead, that means all of that's inhabitable. And it's all protected from radiation. And if the planet's dead, it's not even pressure. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of it could be used for inhabiting. And if there is pressure, we can go as far down as we can take the pressure. But once all the ends are closed, you can oxygenate all of that, get everything going. Like I said, we protect it from radiation, put your lighting system in. Well, it looks like we're going to be able to get fuel from Mars. And then there is the asteroid belt. I'm sure we can get a lot of stuff from that. Mars is going to become an industry in itself because within 100 years, there'll be mining operations, not just mining the asteroid belt, but mining Mars as well. And all that stuff will be getting processed either in the asteroid belt or on Mars. It won't be coming to Earth getting processed. So when it gets here, it'll be clean, ready to go fuel. Same thing with helium-3. They want to process it on the moon and then send it here all ready to go. Within 30 years, we should have a colony on both the moon and Mars. If there's no major wars and nobody does anything stupid, there'll be a moon base within 5 or 6 years. The very least 10 years, but more probably about 5 or 6 years. And Mars, we'll probably might see the first person go there within 5 years or sooner. Well, think about it. He wasn't even supposed to be launching this other Starship for like another couple of months. He just did one, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, the next one, I think they're going to try to land both of them on the pad. Well, I think they said they're going to catch them. Yeah, catch them. And some guy tried to say how America's space program is falling apart and falling behind, and how we're behind. Same thing, dude. Have you never been watching what's been going on? Where the hell you live? In a box? When people make statements like that, you got to kind of look at them and say, what planet are you living on?
Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in. All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn. Oh, that's so you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening. They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them, and the hot stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
All right. Looking good on our trajectory, looking good on everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here.
We're at about 30 kilometers, about using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just about 20 seconds away from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a part of it.
Booster landing, we'll start it. Booster landing, burn shutdown.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shutdown. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration, and into the water we go. Wow, that was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
See how it steers the vehicle. And we're coming up on that T-minus 1 minute now on our countdown, so let's listen in to see if we pass that gate.
All right, we are through the gate. Still no holds on the board. 50 seconds to go. Starship getting ready to fly.
Flight directors go for launch. -9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
"30 seconds into flight. 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on the Super Heavy booster, arcing away from us here at Starbase. Coming up on max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure, which again for this flight is going to be higher than it has been on any of our previous Starship flights. Right, so we're passing through that maximum aerodynamic pressure over a minute now into flight. Still seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit and burning. Our next major moment's going to be coming up in just a little over a minute from now when we're going to get to hot staging. We're going to shut down all but 5 of those engines on the booster. It's our version of MECO. Most engines cut off. And then we're going to ignite the 6 engines on the ship while it is still attached, to do that separation. As a reminder, we try to do a directional flip. So when you watch on your screen, we're hopefully going to be sending that booster towards the bottom of the frame. For the booster itself, it's like doing a flip up. It'll go towards the bottom of your frame. We do that by lighting the engines in a slightly staggered sequence. Standing by for hot staging. All but 5 engines down.
Step.
6 ignite.
Backburn startup.
And the booster now doing its boost back burn. It looks like we lit all 33 initially. Now we're down to 13. We're seeing 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on the ship.
Backburn shut down.
And boost back burn shut down. So it looks like we were able to get through the boost back burn this time around. It was one of the key objectives we didn't have on the last flight. And we've got 6 engines lit on the ship. All right, so that's the first of 2 burns that the booster is going to be doing to kind of send it back towards us. It's going to be landing a couple of miles offshore from Starbase. Hopefully, we're going to, but a couple more.
Landing.
Control of the vehicle.
You heard that call out. Flaps do have control of the vehicle. You can actually see one view, your screen moving around. That's actually a camera affixed to the flap. So as I was saying, we're testing these, doing these landings instead of more traditional means. So that way, propulsive landing, we can enable more rapid reusability.
Yeah. Now, we did just hear that call out. We should continue to hear some call outs as the ship makes its way back to Earth. Now, when we hear something called entry max heating, test flight days, and that's going to be coming up here in just about a minute or so.
Yeah, just about a minute away. We're going to try and light all 3 Raptor sea level engines for this burn. We'll light 3, do the flip. We'll eventually go down to 2 as we get close down to the water, down mode to a final 1 engine before we hopefully execute a nice soft splashdown. We'll see if we've got our buoys and drones in range with the recovery team. They're going to be standing by to try and get some additional views of Starship's heat shield, which from kind of our initial looks, it did pretty well on the flight uphill, but we'll continue to dig through all the visual data as we get it. We didn't do any real stress tests or anything on this flight. We did do, you heard our landing Larsh flight controller call out. We were doing the swoosh maneuver. This is kind of the final maneuver that we plan to have Starships returning to Starbase do, that will essentially hook them out over the Gulf before coming in and over Tower 2. But about 10 seconds away, look for 3 Raptors, the 3 in the middle to light up, do a flip. Let's see if we can get this thing in the water. Sea level flip. Seeing healthy chamber pressures on. Did our flip down to 2. Starship descending into the Indian Ocean. Down to 1. And we're in the water. And it's a soft splashdown in the water. That is a first. That is the softest splashdown we have ever had with the Starship there in the Indian Ocean.
It's bound to be an exciting day for our recovery team. I mean, that huge milestone to even get to soft splashdown, much less have the vehicle stay afloat.
Yeah,
I will.
The teams are super hyped here. That's a crowd here at Starbase Texas. Everyone's super excited. We never really get to see Starship floating so serenely in the Indian Ocean, so we're certainly enjoying these extended views. Like I said, we're really pumped about this. I want to check in with Tyler. Tyler, how is Hawthorne feeling about Lucky Flight 13?
Hey, Kate, we are so excited about another successful Starship test flight and those gorgeous Starlink views that we had. And we can also confirm that we managed to make contact with all 20 of those V3 sats.